Hey everybody, Lachlan hasn't seen Jaws.
Yeah, we were
Discussing
previously discussing,
Wow.
and we are deeply disappointed.
Bust
That we
through
are.
immediately.
Yeah.
Just
It's,
get immediately
I thought you were only
out.
joking about bust throwing me.
Oh,
No,
so
No,
haven't seen
there's
Jaws
always
either.
there's always a bus to throw, Lachlan. Don't you worry.
Curve hasn't seen
But-
Jaws either.
It's been one of those movies that I've been like meaning to watch, but you just never get around to watching it because you just don't. And you've already seen it through like social media and also pop culture, so you don't really need to see the film because you've basically seen the whole thing without actually watching it.
So I've
Pretty much.
never seen Jaws on social media. You want to know where I've seen Jaws?
Where?
As a movie, watching it.
Got
Yeah. Oh,
Got
heck.
him.
Got me good. I mean, the
Yeah.
first frame, I was like, "It's a movie." Second frame, that's definitely what I would have guessed on the second one, easy.
Right, and then you look at the third frame and you're like, oh, that's definitely Jaws.
It's just a
Yeah.
giant
Yeah.
shark.
You see,
I
like,
didn't-
yeah.
I didn't need to take
could
it
it
that
be?
far.
The fourth one, if they give me the fourth frame, I would not have got it. But like the
Oh, are
other,
you allowed
everything
to
else, I
look-
would have.
Are you allowed to look through the frames of those ones? Is that what I?
Yeah,
Yeah.
once you get it right, you can.
Oh.
How's it going, Hawk's Girl? Good to
Hey
see
guys.
How's it going,
Hey.
guys? Sorry.
Sorry, I just
Sorry,
I
To
just
the
hijacked.
Next to the West podcast.
we were sitting
Carried
there
away.
all ready to go, and we were just talking about movies, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to send us live mid talk because content, right? Welcome.
Yeah,
in.
and you wanted to shame me for the fact that I hadn't
wanted
seen
to shame you
Jaws.
because you hadn't seen Jaws. Apparently, Beck hasn't seen Indiana Jones, so we can share the shame.
Oh no, I've seen Indiana Jones. I'm not.
Oh,
I'm not an
okay.
idiot.
You're being.
Wow.
Not some kind of blessing.
Well, you know what? You've never seen Queen Scotsy, so
What?
Dude, I
I've seen
suggest
that
we-
it
film
was my most
about
obscure.
3
It was my
times.
most obscure movie that I could throw out there. All right.
I
Okay.
suggested we watch Queen of Scots the other night, but instead we watched Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, and it was a very good film.
Ah, that's good.
Very good film.
I've heard good things about it.
You should watch it.
He's very good.
You know what
Hey,
we
moron,
should really
welcome on
watch?
in.
We should watch Tokyo Gore Police.
What a film.
We should.
That we should. Family
Yeah,
viewing.
and that will just get us into the mood for D&D because then we can just take on the personas of the characters from Tokyo Gore Police and we can just replicate that in Kye's D&D.
I was kind of
campaign.
wondering how long it would take for you guys to just become Tokyo Gore Police
Yeah.
within the campaign anyway. So
Right.
it you know.
I just realised we didn't pause for room tone when we hit record.
No, we didn't.
No.
Oh, well.
Oh,
Do
well,
it
do you
again.
want to pause now for a
I'm
second?
sure I can find a few seconds. Yeah, screw it. Why not? Hey, chat, we're going to all shut up for like 10 seconds so that I can get everyone's background voice and eliminate it in the audio
Yes.
later.
Thrilling stream.
Everyone
Let's
just
go.
You can
stare
insult us
dead-eyed
and we
into your
can't say
camera for 10
anything.
seconds. Ready, and go. Yeah, that'll do. Why not?
That's the most awkward.
Ultra value hydration, 5 nerds at once.
My
Alrighty.
hydration comes in the form of tea.
Oh, I just hit my microphone.
Jesus. Lachlan, we are in shambles tonight. Like, literally
It's
5
been-
minutes before this, we're like
I,
running to get things fucking fixed. And
We started an
Lachlan's
hour late and
microphone-
we were still almost late.
To be fair, I do mostly blame myself, and it's just
To be
because
fair.
Tom parked me in a car park that took 10 minutes to get out of and onto the street because they're
no.
doing construction outside of the front of it, and he won't park
Nice.
anywhere else.
Rip.
Yeah.
But
So,
we're here now.
Yeah, we are here
We made
now.
it.
It's D&D night.
Yay!
Every
Woo!
Friday is Good Friday when you're playing D&D.
Oh.
hey.
Oh, that's-
Three triangles a love triangle when you love triangles.
God, how good are fucking triangles?
Triangles are the shit, man.
They're the second strongest
They're good.
shape, aren't they?
I think they're the number one strongest shape, aren't they?
I thought
Surely the
hexagons
strongest shape.
Hexagons are
the
besticons.
strongest
Hexagons
naturally
are best
occurring
ones.
shape.
Maybe that's why they are the besticons.
How good are hexagons? The other thing I was going to get us to do before we went live was record like introductions for ourselves, but that's okay. We can do that afterwards if I remember.
And we'll worry about that later.
But hey, I'm Kye. I am your humble DM for tonight as we get into our third session of our D&D 5 edition game. I'm excited.
Man, I love me some 5th ed. Woo!
I love the 5th entry into the D&D franchise, but I feel like I'm actually going to Google it and see which edition this is.
I feel like it's the 6th edition, technically, right? After 3.5.
I mean,
Google it.
look,
Yeah.
it's called Dungeons and Dragons 5, so that's what we should call it. We might upset someone on YouTube if
It's
we
like
call it wrong.
Fast and
So-
Furious 9 is actually like the 11th Fast and Furious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Tokyo Drift doesn't count.
Or if you count...
Wow.
It's in a league
Tokyo-
of its own.
Sure.
I'm
All those
I'm
things.
pretty sure I'm right. Tokyo Drift isn't included in the chronology list, is it? So it's
Yeah,
not
it
like
is.
best one.
It's very
It is-
important
it
to
is-
the story.
no, I know
It's
it's
the best
important
one.
to the story, but if we're talking like Fast and Furious 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then Tokyo Drift is not one of those numbers. Or am I wrong?
No, I think you're right. I think that's the...
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my point.
Yeah. No, that's cool. But we count properly, and this is our 3rd session.
We're not going to have the watch Tokyo Drift at some
Yeah.
point, are we?
Oh, don't give me don't tempt me.
Yeah.
Don't give me
The
ideas.
watch goes to Japan.
Like that a funding goal to go to Japan and play D&D.
Alright,
We won't change anything
so-
about this the session. We'll just do it in Japan.
I have Googled it, and by Googled it, I went on to the Wikipedia, which is the best place for information. So there was Dungeons and Dragons Original Edition, because I imagine it was just called Dungeons and Dragons. Then you've got Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, which is classified as the 1st edition.
Yep.
Then you've got Advanced Dungeons and Dragons 2nd edition.
Right?
Which I actually have some of those books.
And then there's a Advanced Dungeons and Dragons 2nd edition revised. So I guess it's still in the same boat. It's just a revision on the 2nd edition. Then you've got Dungeons and Dragons 3rd edition, which came out in 2000. And then Dungeons and Dragons 3rd edition revised, which is called 3.5. Because I think that's where it gets messy, because I jumped in at 3.5, and I don't know anyone who actually played the 3rd edition. And then you've got Dungeons and Dragons 4th edition, and then 5th edition.
So 5th edition is
Sorry.
actually like the 8th edition.
Yep.
And then 4th edition is like a black hole where it doesn't actually exist.
So we're here to play D&D 8th edition.
8th ed.
Is this
But hey,
is
thanks
this what
for-
we're doing?
Thanks for joining me again, guys. How
You're
was how was y'all's weeks between D&D sessions? Because really, D&D is like the defining moment of the week, right?
Absolutely.
Everything else is just
Yeah.
periphery to that.
I base my entire week around Fridays now.
So you should.
Doesn't everyone?
I base my weeks around when I don't have to go into work.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is also true.
I mean,
and
I guess
and you know what?
technically
That does starts with D&D. D&D is the start of me not going into work.
Yeah, true.
Oh.
True.
It's the
I
start
got
of the
it.
weekend.
Oh, someone else got it.
I got it.
But
There really is a
Robots.
line that's called the fourth side of a triangle. When you construct an incircle, a circumcircle, and a circle that intersects the midpoints of the edges, there's a fourth line that meets those three circles in the same way, the fourth side of the triangle. That's great. I'll have to look that up. That sounds like some
There's-
hypercube. Like,
There's a lot of
fourth
there's
I-
a lot of big words in there, and
so Reese, I don't know if you saw my joke, but he's like, especially the fourth side, and I was like, it's their sensitive side. Boom, got him. And then
oh,
I did see that.
I did see that. I wasn't sure what you were referencing because you typed it in the chat rather than just saying it.
Because you
that
were
was good. That
talking.
was good. That was
that was
good.
a
Look, back.
I want
I've
yeah,
told
it
you
was a
once,
good
I've told you
joke.
100 times. Interrupt me, alright?
Yeah.
For dumb jokes. I'll do
Yeah,
it.
we're
for
taking
dumb
over the
jokes.
stream.
Yeah, I mean, we'll all interrupt you for dumb jokes. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta get in there with the zingers before they're obsolete.
Yeah,
What,
or
like
your
you?
finger goes cold.
Oh,
Got him!
Bird, bird. Yes, you
Can't
got a
zinger.
bird.
Oh, don't forget, guys. Someone donated like $120 last stream.
Yeah,
Oh, I haven't forgotten.
The Gilded Lich.
That
Am I
was
wrong?
very
It's-
generous.
No, you are right. Varys Nox, the Gilded Lich,
Yes.
cursed us last stream. So, the first time combat happens... I mean, I'm not saying combat's going to happen this stream. You never know. But the first time combat happens, or the next time combat happens, the players are going to start with disadvantage, and it's going to be a surprise round for their attackers.
Yep.
So thank you very much again to the Gilded Lich. I know you're probably not in just yet because you jumped in late last time, but don't worry, I haven't forgotten. It's in my notes. And
Turns out the Gilded Lich is the one that commented on our YouTube video from the first episode, and they're never coming back.
If you haven't seen the first session after this, don't go anywhere, but go to the YouTube channel, Nerds of the West, and you can watch the first session, which is up on YouTube. The second session will hopefully be up tomorrow, assuming I can learn Premiere between now and then. And you can get all caught up to date if you've missed anything up until now.
And to answer Curve's question, Gilded Lich just sort of like gave us $120 towards the end of the stream, so we sort of rolled with it. If donations and stuff if people are willing to donate to affect things, we can certainly look into adding like some sort of system. We haven't got anything set up yet.
Yeah, look, to be honest, I didn't expect anyone to come in with quite that generosity or that, with that intention in mind. I probably should have, since I know it's not unheard of. So I've been kind of rolling around some ideas for that kind of thing. I know I've seen other streams where donations can give people advantage on a roll or, give them inspiration die and things like that. So we might institute something official like that. Until then, nothing's set in stone, no promises. We obviously aren't, we're very grateful for anyone who's giving us any biddies or subscriptions or donations. You certainly don't have to, we just love having you here, and it's very much appreciated for anyone that does. I can't promise that if you just suddenly send in a wad of cash with a kill Lachlan message, I can't promise that it's going to happen. Talk to me about numbers first, all right? We've got to get the price right.
I have 500 big ones on the way, if you can confirm. That's we can just
get lucky right now.
And not only that, is that when we are playing, we do have the concentration where we aren't talking to chat.
Yes.
So that will affect it as well. If you are throwing bits and donations around, then we're going to be really focusing on the game for that locked in hour, 2 hours.
How much to lop off half of Reese's right foot? Wait, real life?
Wow.
Let's keep this. Off
It's
of
probably
public
just to
forums, man.
secure the hierarchy of Reese and Curve being the same human being.
Curve, you can't glue it on. That's not how it works.
Yeah. As Lachlan said, we love everyone who's hanging out in chat. But while we're playing, we'll have a timer up down here somewhere that'll tell you roughly when we're going to be back to chat. We love having a little break a little intro at the start here where we talk to you guys, and we have a break in the middle, and we'll have another break at the end where we'll go through chat and try not to miss anybody. When the guys aren't actively doing things, having their turn, things like that, they'll probably post over in chat. I can see Paper Waster, which is Chris. I see Quirky Maple, which is Beck. I see Spoiler Alert Reese, which is Reese, believe it or not. Lachlan hasn't said anything, I think, because he's
I have not.
Spoiler alert.
A big jerk. There we go. And Herbs is Lachlan. There he is. So if you see those people talking to you in chat, that's us. But we are just not doing it out loud so that we don't break the flow too much.
Yeah, we're playing a story, and for me to jump in and be like, "Oh, who are assembled adventurers that you're friends with?" Hawks, like that would be weird. I think. And just in case anyone in chat had a vested interest in my very blonde hair from Wednesday, this is the end result. Not that I think anybody actually cares, but
Mitch, welcome on in. Thanks for that nice amount of biddies.
Nice.
Very nice.
Hey.
Thanks, Mitch.
Nice.
Thank you.
What a
Nice.
guy.
Welcome on in, Mitch.
Eric, get off.
Sorry, Beck, we interrupted you as you were showing up for fully sick.
It wasn't for you guys. Cat, you don't fit behind the keyboard. Stop.
Also, you broke my lights, Mitch. Now they go back to pink. Why?
Oh, didn't you change your... I changed mine to like the old profile because Tom's been doing some testing and things.
You know what, Mitch? You gave us biddies. You didn't break the lights. You made it better. That's what I'm
Okay.
saying.
All right, fair
This
enough.
is
Lachlan,
IRL.
shut up. We need the money.
I don't know. I feel like donate biddies to break our entire setup is probably a pretty strong incentive
Yeah.
for some people.
That's why Curve's sending him $500 for my foot. That's Ah, nice.
Nice.
And again, nice.
Nice.
Thanks again, Mitch. Much appreciated. Oh, I was about to say, is everyone ready? And then Beck just wasn't even here. There she is, with a cat.
Beck ran away. Beck's like, I'm not doing this anymore. No more D&D.
I'm
D&D's for
getting-
nerds.
I'm making sure that Kye can sync this audio for later.
I was trying to sync the audio from our last game, and
Stay the box. Stay the
I was
box.
using everybody's intro. Thank you, Avalanche. I've just boosted myself a little bit. Hopefully that's good. I was trying to sync everyone's audio with their intro as they were announcing themselves, and Beck's just happened to all happen behind a cat. So I had no point of reference for her mouth because Gary was just in front of her face the whole time. It was quite funny.
There. You now have a different point of reference that is not Gary related. I just clapped for you.
So Kye, I
Did
have.
you
Oh,
say
we
clap?
also haven't clapped. We haven't.
I don't think we've ever clapped, honestly.
I think we clapped on the first one.
We did, but we weren't actually recording video on the first one, so the clap was
true.
utterly useless.
And I
Was-
feel like
it
the
was-
clap also got like cut out by the
It was.
noise cancellation.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah.
Discord, but it definitely comes through on the
Audacity.
raw audio,
Yeah.
which is why I can hear Reese's pet frogs outside.
Right. my legion of frogs
Yeah.
outside my window.
Yeah.
I was actually going to ask Kye, when is the second episode going up on YouTube?
So hopefully tomorrow.
Cool.
I have been playing a bit with some Premiere tonight, and I think I've worked it out. So all things going well, episode 2 or session 2 will be on YouTube tomorrow. This is session 3, so you'll be able to catch up, and if I can, I'll try and keep up that pace once I've got the workflow down. I haven't used Premiere in like 15 years, so it's trying to relearn it very, very quickly, just enough to get this out, so it should be fine. Surely. And then someone will watch it and be like, hey guys, at the 15-minute mark, everybody's audio drops out of sync. What's up with that?
Why does it just randomly cut into this random movie? Like,
Wait a minute. I'm pretty sure this is a B movie.
yeah. Just hard cut, full B movie, cut back, stream.
Your default project is just
Session
B
2 of
movie.
RLPD, but every time Reese speaks, the entire B movie plays.
Did you see that someone there's a guy who got his like a printer and put like a pen in it, or like one of the CNC machines, and he had written the entire script
I did see
of
that, yeah.
Shrek, and then hung it up on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Good art. I would like a
man.
framed B movie, please.
I would like a frame
Alright.
any movie but B movie.
Wow.
Alright guys,
That's
I'm going to
a-
grab
that's
my drink from the freezer because I forgot to put it in the fridge. So I put it in the freezer like just as we went live, so like half an hour ago, so it's actually going to be cold. So I'm going to go and grab that, and then I think we're about...
Kye, what's your drink? Kye, what's
I
your
will
drink?
show you when I get back.
I can't see you,
Wow.
so I
My
don't want
energy
to
drink
screen.
of the week.
Nice.
Well, I've gotten in the mood with some Dungeons and Dragons nerds. That's gonna sound amazing on my microphone. So I'm
Where
gonna,
did you get those from?
my sister got them for my birthday from an American candy store.
Oh, hang on, let me write this down.
Dungeons and Dragons nerds.
Well, and they're D&D
Drag.
branded.
Reese, I'm gonna need to see some like pictures of these, like the actual nerds themselves. Like, are they like sword shaped or something?
I'm not gonna lie, they're just nerds.
Sitch is like, I thought you were the D&D nerds. Yeah, that we are.
They're
Oh.
goblin flavored.
But on the box it says Dungeons and Dragons nerds.
Nice.
What
good.
flavor is D&D? It's all flavors. Oh, that's a lot of sugar. That is.
Apparently lots of sugar is D&D.
That's gonna sound amazing when Kye goes through. He's gonna be like, "Is there an avalanche in
Every
Reese's room? What's going
10
on?"
seconds.
Yes.
You're going to be jumping
Wait,
off
it'll-
walls.
It'll be the sound of
Yeah, sugar
nerds,
kicks in.
and then just frogs, and then nerds.
Yep. Bro, first half I'm gonna be pinging off sugar. Second half I'm asleep. I'm done. I'm
Yeah,
just. Where's
actually-
Hadrig? Hadrig's asleep. Leave him alone.
Adrian came down from a sugar rush.
Oh wait, Kai, I missed it. What are you drinking?
Oh, I didn't want to interrupt, So
Kai, always interrupt for the joke.
I am drinking the I think is the classic boomer fuel, the Monster Zero Sugar.
Zero sugar? Ah, let's go, baby!
Zero.
No, it's not. Like, it is zero sugar, but it's not Monster Zero Sugar, okay?
I'm sorry,
Monster
it's
Ultra
Zero
is its
Ultra.
own thing. It's its own thing,
Monster
alright?
Zero Ultra. My mistake.
What's the stats on that monster, Kai?
What's the stats? Well, you see, there's 0 grams of sugar, 7 grams of carbohydrates. I don't know where they're coming from. If there's no sugar, I don't know.
The potatoes they put in there.
It's 0 everything except for salt and carbs. So
Yeah, that's the official boomer juice, mate. That's
Boomer juice.
look, man,
Oh man, I'm a
I figured because
boomer
we're
now.
starting later, so obviously I'll be starting to drink the energy drink later. I should probably go no sugar so that I'm not like awake until 2 o'clock in the morning.
You are
Because
going to
as a
be king
boomer-
when you get into bed.
As a boomer, I can't sleep. Usually, I'm so old now. I don't have caffeine after midday. Generally speaking,
That is old, not gonna lie.
like I don't even drink Coke after midday. Typically,
Wow.
Jesus Christ. Coke is not a
Because
morning drink, Kai.
Yeah, that's
I'm
a,
like-
that's a boomer.
I'm too jittery and I can't sleep.
Bro, I have coffee Coke in the morning, and then I have vanilla Coke in the afternoon, and then evenings plain Coke. That's how it works.
It's actually Coke Zero, so that you don't have that sugar when
Oh,
you're
yeah,
trying to
it's
go to
the
bed.
decaf Coke. Yeah.
I've actually gotten into, and this is going to sound very pedantic, but the 0 sugar, 0 caffeine Coke is actually not bad.
You want to know what was
It
good
satisfies the craving, like with dinner or something.
Coke? I really enjoyed the 0 sugar peach flavored Coke that they did for a while.
I don't know. To
Yeah.
me, that tasted like 0 sugar chemical flavored Coke. The peach one.
To me,
just
it
didn't do
tasted
for
like
me.
0 sugar chemical peach flavored Coke, and I was there for it.
You know what, Kai? I'm gonna blow your mind. All Coke tastes like chemicals because all Coke has chemicals.
Look, if we're gonna get right into it, water is chemicals, okay?
Yeah.
They're putting chemicals in the water.
Dude, I'm right there. I'm right there with you, Curve. I used to be in the like solidly like. Why would you bother drinking like a diet soda, or soft drink? But the older I get, the more I get it, and I think the better tasting the 0 sugar drinks I've gotten. Right, like the science has finally caught up.
No, like the
Yeah.
no sugar versions are not good. The no sugar versions are not good in comparison. Like even the monster you're drinking is nowhere near as good as like a sugared version. Like
What are you
I'm
talking
not-
about, man? Sativa's totally fine. Like, it doesn't affect the human body in any way. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
It's
look,
a great alternative.
I'm not saying it's.
I mean,
as
stevia
good.
is a good alternative, but okay.
I'm not saying it's as good, but if you're trying to cut back on the amount of sugar you're drinking, which I kind of am, because I'm getting old and my metabolism ain't what it used to be, it's not bad.
Yeah.
They're
I'm
putting
with Kai on
DMHO
that.
in the drinking water again. Those bastards! It's a conspiracy. I'm telling you.
Dihydrogen monoxide.
Government.
Yeah.
They're putting DHMOs
Nice.
in the water.
It's a chemical that's used in industrial production of cars, and they're putting it in the water.
Yeah, I heard it was in. It's in cyanide.
Yeah. Did you guys know that margarine is only one fucking
I'm now getting
atom away
private
from
messages saying that I'm
plastic?
too quiet. I'm going to boost my audio all the way, and you guys can tell me if I'm now too loud.
Sorry, I said.
You know who you
sativa
were.
before.
You know who you were in chat. I don't want to dox you, but thank you for the Facebook message telling me that I was too quiet. Hopefully now I'm not. I'm paranoid about being too loud, so hopefully
said-
this is good.
You sound
Yeah, I said
okay to learn.
sativa before, which is weed. What
So
I
you mean
actually meant
stevia?
was stevia. Yeah,
Stevie.
stevia.
Why not both? Da, 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 da.
Stevie. Isn't that the guy from Jackass?
Fucking just chucking some stevo in there. Just all good.
Look, I would drink Coke artificially sweetened with Steve-O.
Bro, he would taste like chemicals. Like,
That's a good
Maybe
one.
he just tastes like Coke.
Fact.
Did we all tell Kai that I looked like what's his face from Jackass?
oh yeah, Aaron.
Oh yeah, Aaron.
McGee.
Yeah, this isn't news.
Yeah.
This isn't news.
It's
If
uncanny.
you pull up a picture of Lachlan, if you just take a snap of Lachlan's face now, especially with the moustache and everything, and then just bring up a picture of Aaron McGee next to him, twins,
Hang on, I've got to try this.
separated at birth.
Long lost brother.
I accidentally paused my stream on the best screen ever.
My wife and I just recently worked our way through all of the Jackass movies to watch Jackass Forever, and she realised that she hadn't actually seen pretty much any of them, and it was a wonderful thing. Introducing someone to the wonder of Jackass, because I watched those movies so many times.
Bro,
a
those are
kid.
definitely movies I'd love to go back and have no memory of watching just to watch
Oh,
them
absolutely,
Huh.
absolutely,
I've never seen them.
dude.
I've never seen them.
So
again. Okay,
Almost like
movie night,
Jaws.
let's go.
Full circle.
Yeah.
Let's start the stream.
yeah, we've come back around to movie talk. Good point.
Alright.
So, if everyone is done comparing Lachlan to a aging member of the Jackass cast, we will jump over to our table.
Diddly, 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 diddly.
Diddly, diddly, diddly. I feel like there is intro sound. We need to add the diddly diddly.
Diddly, diddly.
Diddly, 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 diddly.
Feel free to spam some colours in chat. I don't know if they're working properly or not. Mine's currently like cycling. I don't know if it's supposed to be doing that. The lights
It
are
is.
current.
So Pride will cycle it.
Yeah, is that what the most recent one was?
Yes, up until we got Diddley and purple.
I feel like.
And now, as soon as you put a command in, now my lights default back to pink for some reason. I don't know why, and I changed my profile like you said, Sue, and they are just busted.
Dude, I don't.
Busted.
It's because pink is the most flattering color for your complexion.
Yeah. You know
Yeah.
what? Blame Tom. When in doubt,
I
blame
do
Tom.
blame.
Yeah.
I do blame Tom.
Look, it's not the end of the world.
Hang on. When
Everyone
in
is just
doubt.
like, exclamation pink.
When in doubt.
At least now you've got an
Maybe we
explanation,
just set it to
Lachlan.
pink. Then it'll fix
It's
itself.
pink because everyone's spamming pink. Duh.
Oh yeah.
This is when it will turn green somehow.
yeah.
Before we get stuck in to session number 3, we should probably do a bit of a recap.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'll do a hyper-fast recap of session 1, where you guys showed up at the Illabal District Watch House in the city-state of Rolands Landing. For your first day, you met first you met Corporal Bernadette Arnold, who was the
Dorothy.
corporal. You met Sergeant Boris Chaplin, who is the half-orc sergeant of the watch. You met Captain Jacinta Noble, the human captain of the Illabal Watch House, and you were quickly thrown into an interrogation to work out who stole the poor old lady's handbag, which you eventually worked out, or rather Hadri did all the hard yards, and eventually settled on a deal where the victim didn't press charges and let him go because he was struggling, he was having a tough time. After that, we had session 2, which I'll let you guys recap one at a time. Let's start with you, Beck. How did we start session number 2?
We started session number 2 at the end of our shift from our first day of the watch, walking to the Drinkin' Dicks. We entered, and we immediately got iffy vibes from the place, and we realized that the barkeep was a nefarious ne'er-do-well.
Dun dun dun. Klaus, you want to
Dun
pick it
dun
up?
dun. A memory that Klaus had seen him on a wanted poster for murder, and we were like, that's a bit sus and strange. So then we walked away from the bar and went, we'll have nothing to do with that, and sat down to have a nice quiet pint. As we sat down at the nice table, Rosefina then walked up and was like, hey, I remember you for murder. You're a bad guy. And that was when good old, God, I forgot his name.
Chadwick Rumble Rod.
No, the barkeep.
Oh, Sorry,
Julie.
Julie, that's right. He had a dumb name. So Julie was actually, yes, wanted for murder, but he had been imprisoned in this bar, and this was his imprisonment. So he was on house arrest / bar arrest for quite some time, and he was put there by none other than my father. And then, as we came to that revelation, we're like, that's kind of cool. This guy's just stuck in this bar forever, and he'll be the barkeep. Which seems weird to give a criminal the rights to serve alcohol, but we'll roll with it. Then, Hadrig.
Then we were approached by another member of the Watch that goes by the name of Chadwick Rumblerod, Chad Thundercock, as some people know him. Yeah. And he didn't like us. They're very much. He's part of Alpha Squad of the Watch, and we didn't get along. And we may have had a small tussle with him and his crew until it was broken up. And I'm sure that is the last we'll see of him. We'll never see him again. He's done. He's out of here. He definitely won't be a recurring character. But after that, we left the bar and went back to bed and came back for our first day on the job. What did our first day on the job entail, Gabriel?
Aha, well, Hadrig, it was actually our second day on the job because...
Sorry, yes,
technically we started our first shift the day prior. But we made our way to the city gates to accost entrants and check their travelling wares and things for contraband. Sort of not too dissimilar from the game Sheriff of Nottingham, which we've played a number of times on the channel.
Whoa,
so
no way.
Under the supervision of Corporal Bernadette Arnold, we searched, and eventually we came upon these wine merchants who were trying to enter Rolands Landing. They had some pretty big kegs of who knows what.
Pretty sure it was wine, but it's okay.
Well, yeah,
It was definitely wine.
It was wine, that's what it was. So upon asking to check, they basically slaughtered us and used their wickedly sharp scimitars to cut through our billy clubs and most of our flesh and bone as well. And it was only thanks to the saving grace of some of the other watch members that intervened that we actually survived. So that was always a good boost for morale.
So Bernadette arrived in the nick of time as you guys were getting pummeled by the so-called wine merchants. Pardon me, I'm just trying to get my lights to sort themselves out, but I don't think I'm going to bother anymore.
Just make them pink.
just make it pink. We'll all just have pink lights.
Exclamation pink.
Yes, so as you guys were fighting off these 4 attempted smugglers, you guys were valiantly holding them off with your mere billy clubs while they had their brutal scimitars, and held them off long enough for Corporal Arnold to fetch the 2 previous watchmen who had just been dismissed from shift, and came back just in time to present a large enough force with the group of you that they decided to surrender. And as we ended last session, the 2 fresh members of the Watch, along with Bernie, had put them in cuffs or in manacles and was in the process of getting ready to lead them to the Clanker, back to the Watch House, and promised to bring you guys relief shortly. So that's where we will drop back in. I'm going to kick off the chat timer. So we will be back with you guys in chat shortly. Enjoy your steaks and things that I saw mentioned.
Yum.
We'll be back with you very soon. So the 4 of you currently stand outside the southern gate of Rolands Landing. Bernadette and the 2 other officers are about to head back in through the gate. She turns to the 4 of you and says, "Oh, look, I'm so sorry this happened, especially on your first full day. Here, and she pulls from her pocket a fairly large iron key, and she hands it to the closest of you, which happens to be Gabriel, and says, "Here, this is the key for the evidence room, where we had to lock up the contraband that you confiscated. Just hang on to that in case you need it. I'll be back as soon as I can. Hopefully no more carts arrive before I get back here with the next shift to take over. I'll be as quick as I can. Just be careful, and I'll be back soon. I'm not supposed to leave you unsupervised this early, but we obviously need to get this lot under lock and key as quickly as possible. So I'll be back soon."
Leave it to me, Corporal. No problem.
Do you have any questions before I leave?
Do you have any arms ready, spare to help? Is that the right word?
Sort of bleeding here, Corporal.
Any rudimentary first aid kit, perhaps?
There might be some scraps of cloth or something in the room that you can use, but we don't really carry potions and the like. They're too big a target for theft, and they get damaged, and they're very expensive. We unfortunately don't have much of a budget.
Very well.
You've seen the watch
leave it
house.
to
We're not
us.
exactly the most well funded.
I make no comment on that. But thank you, Corporal. You do what you got to do. I'll keep the guys in check.
Okay, I'll be back as soon as possible. And she sort of backs away as the other officers lead the arrested mob away. I'll be back soon. Just be careful. Okay, and she sort of turns around and heads off with the other troops. Seems like she takes a bit of an effort for her to pull herself away from you guys, and leaves the four of you standing alone just outside the southern gate to Rolands Landing as its only line of defence.
How are you guys going?
I'm hurting, man.
What a mess.
See. Yeah. That doesn't look
Yeah.
good, Hadrig. Are you sure you're alright?
I mean, what's everyone on? I'm on 6 out of 14.
I'm on 4 out of 12.
I'm 4 out of 10.
Oh fuck me.
7 out of 14.
Yeah, look, we're all
We're all
on,
hurting.
Everyone's
I
had
have seen
they-
better days. I
They
think-
brought knives to a club fight.
Should we?
I think it's more a
So,
case that we brought clubs to a knife
Knife
fight.
fight.
So we have a key at the moment, and we're standing at the gate. And do we have the scallywags that beat us up?
no. So
No.
Bernadette led those away with the
With the
2
French
officers that you
soldiers.
relieved. So
Yep.
she's taking them back to the watch house to lock up, and she said she'll be back with relief for you guys.
Well, I imagine we can't really go too far until she gets back. Maybe I could offer some healing. Well, for those that need it.
Healing? What do you mean?
Well, lay on hands, my good friend.
You're
Well,
a
I mean,
magician.
I have lay on hands. You have cure wounds.
I have cure wounds.
You're both magicians.
I'm not a fucking magician.
Has this man never seen magic before?
Yeah.
No, I'm just trying to roleplay in character the fact that I've never seen you cast in healing shit before.
Oh yeah, because the only spell you did try to cast fucking failed. So.
Gabriel has told you guys that he grew up in a farm, like outside Rolands Landing. He's
Outside.
not
You know
exactly
what?
the most worldly fella, perhaps.
Yeah.
Magic exists. Come on.
And I'm young. I'm like 22 years old, so I've probably
Alright.
never seen this kind of thing before.
Oh, you're a
well,
bunch of beeb.
Yeah, but chubby cheeks.
Rosie, the 150-year-old here, like, yo,
Hang on, let me confirm.
What up,
confirm.
children?
She's done that.
Klaus,
I need
who,
to open my other.
who do you want to? Who do you want to heal?
Well, I have but one heal,
Yep.
so
You can only heal butts? That's weird.
I can only heal
One
butts.
heal.
So
That's
whose
his
butt
kink.
is the sorest?
I think poor Rosie's butt is the sorest.
Yeah.
Maybe before you do that, I would like to try and make a rudimentary bandage for myself with, I guess, some spare cloth from my bag. I'll rip up one of my t-shirts. Assuming I have a bag, I guess.
I mean, you guys wouldn't have brought all of your kit with you, but I'm sure that you could have had a pouch or something, or you could even tear some of your uniform or your your undershirt off if you had to.
Yeah.
And
So
Rosie did. Sorry, not Rosie. Bernadette did mention that there might be some scraps of cloth in the contraband room that you could use as well.
Yeah. So I'm gonna. I might see if I can go find. I just sort of like pluck the key out of Gabriel's hand, and I'm like, I'm gonna go see if I can find some cloth.
No, you do not. I'm in charge of this key, Rosie. Bernadette specifically entrusted me, and I think I'm the most trustworthy member of this ragtag scallywag group. So no can do. You can ask me if you like.
Can I roll for sleight of hand, please, Kai?
You can. Considering the fact that you just tried to take it from his hands and he pulled it away, it's going to be quite difficult for you to sneak it out of his hands. So roll with disadvantage. And
Magicians. All right. Or yeah.
Is that a 1?
No, that's an 11. The
Oh,
first
that's an
one was
11?
15.
It's hidden behind me.
I just realised I put chat in front of the results.
So
That's
we've
probably not great.
got a 22 or an 18, and since it's a disadvantage, we'll do the 18.
Okay. So
Although, with my sleight of hand, I will say I'm not trying to sneak it out of his hand. I'm just trying to get it out.
just trying to yoink it.
Just trying to yoink it.
All right, Gabriel, can you give me a dexterity save?
Of course.
Ooh, 16.
16.
So unfortunately, you're not quite quick enough, and Rosie, with her practiced quick fingers, manages to just grab it by the top of the key. She tried to move it away and just slip it out of your hands.
And as I grab it, I say, "What? I'm not as trustworthy as you are," and I start walking towards the lockup room.
I sort of like scowl and look after you, and I'm just about to say something like,
Well, someone's not getting their butt healed.
I put my hand on Gabriel's shoulder, and I'm like, this might not be the fight, brother. Like,
Not now. Don't do it.
all right,
Just let it go.
you make a fair point. Well, how about some heals then?
Yeah, with my hand, it glows. Actually, I think I used my lay on hands last thing. I have no lay on hands. Well, shit.
Oh no!
Don't worry, Gabriel. I've got it all covered. Check this out.
Yep, I
Any minute
already
now.
healed someone. My bad. Off you go, champ.
Don't worry, Gabriel. I got this. And he just pats you on the back.
I'm
job.
just giving you
Good job.
a
There.
reassuring shoulder tap. Just
Thanks.
I would
feel
like
better.
to also walk over to Gabriel and pat him on the shoulder and be like, "It'll be okay, man. Don't stress. Don't worry. It was friendship all along."
It was
That's
the
the real
friends we
magic.
made along the way.
Oh.
Okay, we'll just wait for Rosie to get back.
Okay,
so
so
Rosie,
I'm,
you head into
in silence.
I was drinking tea, alright? Leave me alone.
You head into
Um,
the contraband room where you've been locking up the confiscated stuff, and as Bernadette said, there is a small tied leather bag, and inside appears to be a very, very rudimentary first aid kit. It looks like it was probably a fully stocked first aid kit maybe 6 years ago. Now all that's left is a few strips of cloth, and a broken pair of scissors. It's very dilapidated at this point. The cloth
It's
is really
literally
might be-
that first aid kit that you keep lying around so that the occupational health and safety person's like, they got a first aid kit, cool.
Yeah,
It's an
just
empty
All the
bag
Band-Aids have
stuffed with like
expired.
rags.
She gets out the scissors and she's like, "Oh, so you've had your tetanus shot, right?"
I take the leather bag, and I, obviously after digging through it, realizing what's inside, I sort of pull it tight and I walk out the door. And I walk back over to my group. I walk up to Gabriel and I hand him back the key. And then
Oh, Thank you.
I don't know, is the cart still there?
The
Like
cart,
the
yes, the cart is still there. It's as you guys
Okay.
left it, having tossed several of the barrels of wine onto the ground and
Yep.
popped open one of the larger barrels that you found was full of crossbows and crossbow bolts. That is all sitting as you left it, right in the middle of the road, basically.
Yep. I head back to the cart to sort of use it as a makeshift table as much as I can, being the tiny gnome that I am. I'm just trying to see what my height is.
Short.
Correct.
Is what it
Short.
is.
Short is a very good descriptor for my height. 3.5 feet. Anyway, point is, make a little makeshift table on the back of the cart, and I attempt to use my medicine skill to bandage my wounds.
Sure,
Here we
go for it.
go.
Good luck to you.
I say
You
it
get
like that
disadvantage
because
the rags are 6 years old.
Yeah.
They're covered in mold and do poison damage when you
Earwigs.
wrap them around your wounds.
rip. Ooh, okay. Not bad. That's not bad.
13. 13's not bad. You managed to find a couple of the wounds that seem to be bleeding a little more than the others, and tightly wrap some bandages around them. You just sort of tie them off in a crude knot. You're not really sure of the right way to tie off a bandage, but hey, it seems to be pressing down on the bleeding and stopping it from getting any worse. I'll give you 2 temporary hit points for that.
Yeah. So 6 temp hit points or 4 plus 2. Should I write?
They are the same number.
so
4 plus 2
put-
is 6.
Yeah, so put 2 in the temporary hit points pile, and that will go first.
Okay. Oh, okay. See, I've never had to deal with temporary hit points before. So
Yeah.
And that's right.
That's
Sorry,
why I
didn't mean
was
to be a
unsure.
sarcastic arsehole.
fine.
That's my
But
job.
saying, do I
Four.
get 6 or do I get 4 plus 2? So you guys see Rosie bring the bag back from the contraband room and start tying it off against a couple of her worst looking wounds. Anyone else doing any healing? Klaus, are you using your heals?
No, Rosefina didn't need it, and as we can see, Hadrig was out of healing, and we've already given Gabriel a pat on the back for his good leadership.
Thank you.
So-
It meant a lot.
Well, you gave up the key! What are you doing?
I know, right? He's weak.
Weak.
Should we move these crossbows inside?
I
Put
think
them into
so.
the storage next to the gate here in this storage room until...
Yeah.
Or should we leave them on the car so they're easier to take back to the station?
I would feel much more comfortable putting them in the storage room.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll put them back in the storage room. I was actually gonna offer you guys to tie off your bandages as well, since all you guys seem to do is just pat each other on the back.
Yeah, we're being supportive of each other, Rosie. All right,
It's like
we're a team.
you're acting like support gives you hit points.
Or you just rub some dirt in it, eh?
Yeah. How are you feeling, Hadrig and Gabriel? Do you need help?
On a scale
I'll
from
offer
1 to
my-
14, I'm about a 7.
And I'm a 6 on that same scale.
Well, I'm sure it's a rock-off then.
I mean, Gabriel, what's your AC?
If I had to pick a number on some
Jesus.
arbitrarily large scale, I'd say it was about a 14.
Okay, well, I'm a 16, so Gabriel's easier to hit, so he'll hit.
So, as we metagame this whole
Yeah.
shambles,
Totally invaluable.
I walk over to Gabriel and I put my hands on him and I'm going to use Cure Wounds.
Pat on the back.
I'm healing you.
Pat on the back.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Get yourself 10 heals.
10 hit points. That's a big one.
Whoa.
Plus an additional 2, but that's more than you need.
Where did you learn how to do that?
Many years of practice, I'd say.
Nerd school.
That nerds do go to school. Or they sit here and play D&D.
Shut up, Rosie.
Rosie, you're not here. You're over at the cart. You can't hear us. We're having our own private conversation. What do you want to say? Come over here.
Wow.
Say it to my face.
As you guys are finishing up your pats on the back, your heals, and bandaging your wounds, you sort of take a look at the cart sitting in the middle of the road, and looking off into the distance down the road where the carts have been coming from, you notice that there appears to be another cloud of dust appearing on the horizon, indicating that another cart may be not far away.
Which of you gentlemen is feeling the best of us?
Well, I don't exactly feel I'm the best of us. I am the best of us. What do you need?
Yeah, Gabriel is probably...
If you're feeling a little less worse for wear like myself, I'm willing to move the cart out of the road, and we'll move the crossbows into the
Okay,
contraband room,
that sounds like a good idea.
so that we can make room for this new cart that's on the horizon.
Well, if you want, I can move the crossbows while you three attend to the new cart.
Well, let's all get on the cart first and drag it over toward the storeroom, and then Hadrian can take it from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I mean, there is a horse that was leading the cart that's still
I was kind of
still
thinking that
harnessed
too.
up.
Oh.
So
Alright.
Hadrian could possibly just lead the horse to the room, and then
I just
unload
like to
the
butt
cart.
in. I just haven't been able to talk because everyone's talking at the same time. We should move the cart over to the gate, and Hadrian can deal with it from there, and then we'll deal with the new cart.
That is
That is literally
Fuck's sake.
what we just said.
Exactly! Let's do it.
Lachlan's on the same page. Don't even worry about it.
I put my hand in to start like the team let's go, and everyone walks
I
away.
hit in too.
Yeah, we'll walk away.
No, you don't get to speak for me. My hand's in. Fuck you.
Where'd the others go? Team let's go!
Yay!
That's sweet.
Hadrian and Rosie, BFFs.
All right.
Team, let's go.
Cool.
Wait for that.
Hadrian, you head over to the cart. The large draft horse that is harnessed up is standing there looking kind of bored. Doesn't seem to have taken much notice to the violence that just took place.
Mad lad.
Hello, horsey. Like rubbing the horsey's head. Hello, horsey. Come with me, horsey.
No worries. Give me an
You want
animal.
some tasty grass?
Give me an animal handling check as you attempt to lead the horse.
Oh. That's a 10.
10. I mean, this is a horse that's used to being told what to do. You grab the reins and begin leading it towards the gatehouse, and it quite happily follows along at its own plodding pace, bringing the cart with it, and you're easily able to bring it to a stop just next to the door where you've been storing the contraband so far.
Nice. So bring it to a stop. There are like brakes on the cart. Like I don't know how a cart works. Is that like
The horse
so
just
that if
slows
the
down.
horse starts to walk away, the cart doesn't go? Like
Not that you can see,
okay.
but as you come to a stop, the horse does seem pretty content to stop walking though.
Alright. Is there like a place where I can tie up the horse?
Yeah, there'd be a post or something, or
Yeah.
a piece of the whatchamacallit. The I've forgotten the word. It's a cool word for the mesh, like the metal bars that come down in front of
Yeah.
Portcullis?
portcullis. Thank
Yep.
you, Chris. Yes, the portcullis.
Alright, so I'll tie him up around there
Something
so
like
he doesn't like wander away.
Yeah.
And then I'll start offloading the contraband, the illegal goods, as
Sure.
it were.
The huge barrels that they were stored in are far too heavy for you to move as a whole, but you begin unloading and moving them in, moving the crossbows in a few at a time, and start stacking them up in the contraband room, presumably, unless you would like to do anything else.
No, just put them in the contraband room.
Didn't just want to stick one in your back pocket just as a...
Yeah, just
weapon.
jam one in there.
The three of you watch Hadrig lead the horse in and begin unloading as the cloud of dust on the horizon begins to get a bit closer. There's a few splashes of blood, mostly yours, considering you took the more grievous wounds, soaking into the dust at your feet.
We hail the cart as it approaches, and I'm just going to sort of stand, not in the middle of the gate, but sort of with my hand outstretched from one side as if to say, stop.
No worries.
Stop! You're violating the law.
The cart pulls up, and as it gets closer, you can see that there's two men sitting on the front of the cart as the horse grows near. One is a human, the other is a gnome. The human has, like, shockingly pink hair. Clearly not natural. Dyed pink hair, very frizzy and scruffed up, very messy looking. Is the first thing that stands out to you.
Halt, please.
Oh, the cart pulls to a stop. Greetings, fellows. How are we this fine morning?
Well, thank you. Good day to you too. This is just a routine inspection checkpoint, so please, if you don't mind, step off the cart and we'll be done in just a few moments.
Oh, certainly. Let me show you what I've got. And he hops off the cart. The gnome gentleman sitting next to him appears to be he rolls his eyes and leans back like he's kind of used to the energy of this older man. He jumps down and he sticks out his hand for you to shake, Gabriel.
Yeah, I take his hand and shake.
He grabs your hand with his other hand as he shakes and shakes your hand with both of his hands very enthusiastically. My name's Marin Bourgeois. Pleasure to meet you, young man. What's your name?
Gabriel. Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Bourgeois.
A pleasure. Come, let me show you what I've got. It's very exciting. And he starts to move towards the back of his cart.
Very well. I go.
Klaus and Rosie, are you guys with Gabriel or hanging back? What are you guys doing?
Oh, you go, Klaus.
Sorry. I will be with Gabriel as well. And I'm going to walk around to the back to assist him in checking the cart.
Yep.
Yeah, so you can watch as I get shanked. Yeah.
The man, Marin, sticks out his hand to you as well, Klaus.
Oh, hello, sir. It is informal for me to shake your hand, unfortunately. It is a pleasure to meet you. We'll be done in a minute.
Oh, certainly. And Rosie, are you with them as well?
No, I approach the side of the cart, so I am facing the gnome gentleman, who I believe is still sitting on the cart.
He is. He's kind of seems to have leaned back. He looks almost impatient, just kind of waiting for things to be over.
So I greet him. Hello, sir. How are you doing today?
Morning. Not too bad, I suppose. It's another day on the road, but I'll be happy to spend the night in a warm bed tonight.
That sounds really nice. That sounds excellent. What brings you guys into Rolands Landing? What are you bringing in?
Oh, well, the boss here will be more than happy to show you what he's got. But he's a self-proclaimed mad scientist. He's got some crazy ideas about the future of, technology and all these crazy things. It's a bit out there, but he hired me as an assistant and he pays well, so here we are.
Yeah, fair enough. Do you know of anything in the cart that is illicit in the state of Rolands Landing?
Not that I know of. Is glass bottles and metal tubes illicit?
We don't believe so. But do you have any excessive weapons or any sway? Or even, this may sound a bit odd, but even some green apples on you today? Any of those?
I've heard about the apple thing. No, we haven't got anything like that. The boss is something of a pacifist, not big on weapons. So no, nothing like that.
As I'm talking to him, I attempt, I guess, to just make sure he's not lying. Whether that be an insight or a perception.
Yeah, give me an insight check.
Shoo. There you go. 21.
He doesn't seem
I can't
to
wait
be.
for this. Yeah.
Doesn't seem to be leading you astray with anything that he said. It all appears to be perfectly honest.
That's kind of what I thought, but just to be safe.
Yeah.
You can never tell.
Been shanked before.
We've been shanked before.
I'd like to jump up on the back of the wagon and start rummaging through.
Yeah, so as you guys reach the back, unless you're making an effort to overtake Marin, he hustles fairly excitedly almost to the back of the cart and throws back some of the canvas. He goes, look. And the first thing that you see as he throws it back appears to be just a jumble of lab equipment. He's got beakers, he's got all these glass and metal tubes, he's got these brass stands, all this stuff that you would immediately, alchemy would jump to your mind.
Mm-hmm.
He says, here, I've made some wonderful advancements. I can't wait to get into the city where there's better craftsmen to refine these things. And he grabs from an open crate towards the back of the cart a fairly large in diameter tube of what seems to be copper, about 2 feet long, and a large cylindrical ball of some metal. And he goes, look. Are you familiar with magnets? Magnets. Everyone's seen a magnet, right? And everyone knows that copper, and he holds up the tube, isn't magnetic, and he bangs the two together, making a bit of a clang. Doesn't stick, right? Everyone knows this. Now, look, observe, watch carefully. And he holds the ball of metal up and drops it. It falls to the ground and makes a thud in the dust, as you'd expect. He goes, see? Falls, right? Just as you'd expect it. It falls to the ground. Now, and he picks it up and holds it above the tube. What do you think will happen when I drop it through the tube?
Do you have a good answer for this, Klaus?
It's going to go through the tube, surely.
Right. As we've observed, the copper and the magnet they don't react. The copper isn't magnetic. But watch. And he drops the ball through the tube. And you're expecting the ball to fall just as it did before into the dust. But it takes far too long to get from the top of the tube to the bottom based on the speed that it fell before. It takes a solid few seconds before it drops out the bottom of the tube and hits the ground. See? You see that? Amazing! And he holds the tube up for you to see, and he looks at you through the tube. Nothing in there, no trick, I assure you. It's pure science!
It seems a little fishy to me. I've seen my fair share of street performers before.
Oh, I'm no street performer. I could probably make a good living that way. Yes, indeed. But instead, I've decided to try and turn these discoveries into something a bit more, with a greater effect on all people. Look, here's my other invention. And he puts the tube and the ball of metal back into the crate. And he rummages through another crate, throwing handfuls of hay or straw or some kind of packing material out of the way, before carefully bringing out what appears to be some sort of glass jar with a small copper tube sticking up out of the lid. He says, watch, and he puts it down carefully and says, here, may I have your finger, sir, or your hand?
To whom are you speaking?
To you, Gabriel, sorry.
Oh, of course. I'll send forth my finger.
Now, just gently, very gently now, touch the top of that rod you see sticking out of the jar there.
Okay. If there's any funny business, and I put my finger on the end of the rod.
As your finger gets within about a centimetre or so of the rod, there's a small crack sound and a tiny spark goes from the end of the rod to your finger, and you sort of recoil as a static shock zaps the end of your finger. See, it didn't hurt too badly, I'm sure. But you see, this contraption can store some kind of miniaturized lightning and dispense it later. It's quite incredible. I call it a bourgeois jar.
Huh. Well, that is impressive.
Thank
Although
you.
we're not exactly here to go rummaging through all of your possessions. We're mostly here just to check for contraband and green apples somehow.
Contraband? Apples? No. This is all my equipment. I packed up my lab from back home and thought I'd come to the city where the resources, I'd have better artisans and more resources available for my experiments.
Well, my friend Klaus here is a very gentle man indeed, and he'd be happy to be careful with all of your possessions as he's searching through them for illicit items?
Oh, yes, please help yourself. Please do be careful. There's quite a lot of glass in there. I did pack it very carefully, so please do be careful if you do pull any of the packaging out.
Assert dominance, break a jar on the floor.
Please, no, you sound like a humble man. I promise I'll take good care and make sure I don't break anything. And I'd like to rummage through the things and take extra care because I believe this man to be of no harm.
Sure. Give us a perception check as you mosey on through his goods. An unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20.
Oh, nice.
Good roll.
There's a pack of scimitars waiting for you to enter the car.
6 packs.
Have you seen the physics lessons about apples and falling?
He's actually
Stop right there.
He's just got a bunch of glass that he's planning on smashing on the nearest available surface and then shanking people with. It's all weapons, as you think about it.
He's gonna set up a sway den.
Yeah.
Yes. Gonna manufacture it.
Rosie, as the others are searching through the back of the cart, you're kind of overhearing this science lesson a little bit, but only catching bits and pieces. The guy on the front of the cart leans forward and says, "I'm Timothy, by the way. And you would be?"
The name's Rosie.
Rosie. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too.
You got any suggestions in town for a place where a gnome can get a drink in peace without being accosted?
I do, but Kye hasn't told me what they are.
Come up with one on the spot.
It's improv. Just make it up.
Come up with one.
Hello, Mahoney. Hello, Hello,
There's a nice, cozy little pub down in the Burrows called the Burrow, actually.
Well, it must be pretty good then.
I'm sorry, are you mocking my cultural heritage?
No, not at all. It was very...
Burrow, eh? Well,
yeah,
I'll probably stop by for a drink then.
I would. It's good folk down that end.
Well, it's that's good to know. It's been a long time since I've been in the city, and the last time I wouldn't say they rolled out the welcome wagon, if you know what I mean.
It's tough these times, being so downtrodden the way we are. It's hard to be optimistic and pleasant to those you're unfamiliar with.
Yeah, I hear that. And he gives you kind of a lingering glance. He says, "I hope we bump into each other again, Rosie."
I think I'd like that.
And about this time, Klaus, you finish rummaging through the goods in the back of the wagon and don't seem to come across anything that would fit your definition of contraband.
All right. Everything looks pretty good, Mr. Lenz. Sorry, Mr. Bourgeois. And I jumped down off the cart. Bourgeoisie, and I jumped down off the cart. Gabriel, did you search his person as well? I feel like that seems to be the going practice.
Mr. Bourgeois, my apologies. Please stand with your arms outstretched.
Oh, yes, of course. Like this, and he holds his arms out. And...
That's it, just as though you're about to take off. And then I just kind of rummage up and down and give a quick frisk and see if I especially check the inner pockets of tunics for small vials of
worked well for you last time?
Not shimmer, you know the one. Yeah.
Go ahead and give us a perception check.
That I shall do. 10.
10. You give the man a frisk. Maybe not as thorough as the older gentleman that you frisked earlier, but you seem to have a pretty good feeling about this guy, and maybe don't go quite as into the nooks and crannies as previously. But on a brief pat down, he doesn't appear to have anything on his person other than a pen and a wad of paper with a bunch of scribbled notes that you can barely make out in his chicken scratchings.
Well, Mr. Bourgeois, you are free to enter. Welcome to Rolands Landing.
Thank you. I'm planning on setting up shop as soon as possible, and I look forward to bringing some real advancement to the city.
Well, I'm sure you will. Good day to you, and enjoy your stay.
Thank you. And he starts tying down the canvas that he opened up, and he starts talking almost to, sort of half to himself, but clearly loud enough for you to hear him. He's like, yes, and then we'll hook up the jar, and the lightning can be harnessed, and it will be able to do all sorts of miraculous things. And then starts heading back to the front of the cart and jumps on, and he says, well, Tim, are we ready to go? And the gnome looks from where he was speaking to you, Rosie, back to his boss, and says, yes, boss, ready to go. And with that, they make their way into the city.
I just send them off with a little wave.
What a kooky fellow. I don't know what his business here is in Rolands Landing, but whatever it is, I'm sure it's benign.
I liked him. He was quite a nice, interesting man, and I'm always down for some science.
I appreciate that he didn't try
Had a lot
and
of
stab
thinking.
us with a sword.
That
Actually,
too.
that's a big
thank you every
tick
day.
for me.
That's my favourite of all tourist traits, is the ones that don't stab you with swords.
That's right. Yeah, I don't care much for science. I just didn't really want to get into another scrap without the watchman here.
We are
Hadric, how'd you
watchmen.
go?
Hey,
The
Drink,
real watchman.
as you finish putting the last armload of crossbow bolts into the storage room, is about the time this carriage passes on the opposite side of the wagon that you pulled up.
Yep.
As it does so, you notice the man with the crazy hot pink hair. He seems to be talking excitedly to the gnomish man sitting beside him. You just make out some words about lightning and energy. You're not really sure what this guy is rambling about, but he gives you a bit of a wave as he passes by.
Me, as the unassuming person I am, he's just been waved through, so I'm like, oh, nothing wrong with him, and wave back. Have a good day.
Having not met the crazy man.
Yeah. I'm just like, he seems
mad
like
scientist.
an interesting fellow.
He did seem pretty nice.
What a nice man.
Couldn't pronounce his name though.
Marin Bourgeois, come on.
Walk up to
Bourgeois.
you guys. I'm like, did you get a load of the guy with pink hair?
I'm
That was
actually just like breaking character here for a hot second. I'm surprised none of you have seen this word before. Like, can I take a stab at how you've guessed it, Kai?
Sorry, say again?
Can I have a stab at how you've spelt his name?
Yeah, sure.
I've got it as Borzhoi.
No.
Ah, what?
Ooh.
It
How do
is
you
Bourgeois.
Eoys.
Yeah, I
Does
had
that
everything
mean
right
we need
except
to
for
eat
the
him?
God damn. I was close.
We eat the bourgeoisie.
Bourgeoisie.
Anyway.
surname.
Bourgeois is a type of dog. All right, back into character. Sorry for disturbing.
It's okay.
We must
Kai just
interrupt
throwing
Kai
them
all the time.
Yeah.
Kai just throwing out names that are just can't be spelt. So I've just got Scribble McGee.
That's his name now, Scribble McGee.
Feel free to
Cool
ask about
Marin.
people's names. Can everyone give me a perception check, please, as you stand talking about your encounter with Marin and Timothy? It's a 20 from Rosie, a 9 from Hadrig, a 14 from Klaus.
My roll
16.
got buried
16 from
amongst
Gabriel.
all of
It is indeed.
everyone else's rolls because my dice immediately disappeared and I never saw what it landed on.
That's
Box
where
on the
the
right.
box on the
Yours
right.
was a
Yes, I have my character sheet over that. Thank you very much, Reese.
Hadrig
Unnatural
and
20.
Klaus, you guys are discussing how the heck he got his hair so pink. When
Yeah.
Gabriel and Rosie, you guys seem to get a whiff of... Is that smoke? Or is it... It smells like a cooking fire or something? You get a whiff of something on the air, and at first you think it's like a fire, but after a moment you taste... Your mouth starts watering, your taste buds start a tingling, and you think, no, that's not just a fire. What is that?
It's a bunning snag.
I was going to say we start floating along through the air without like in a cartoon. Hey, Rosie, you
Chibi's
smell that,
coming
right?
soon. Chibi.
Yeah. What is that?
Ah,
Whatever it is,
what a
I'm
bloody
getting kinda
legend! His
hungry.
finger guns. Pew 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 pew.
Hey, guys, do you smell that? Stop shitting around over there for a second. Pay
Man, that
attention.
guy had really pink hair. Huh?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. He had
Sorry.
pink hair.
What?
Like, come on, focus. Do you smell that?
Start sniffing.
You guys,
Yeah.
now that it's pointed out, yeah, there is a smell. Something that gets your mouth watering, and you sort of start looking around and notice. At first, it just appears to be another dust cloud on the horizon as the cart approaches, but it's larger and a slightly different color, and there appears to be a plume of smoke heading your way.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I don't like this.
This might be it.
Uh,
This might be the lunch
Or-
van, guys.
Or I like this very
It's a
much.
lunch van! Oh, please be a lunch van. Oh, can I grab a sausage roll, please?
maybe it's the lunch van that caught fire and the horses are just kind of bounding away. Is this like a security hazard? Should we lower the portcullis?
Why don't we just stop him at the gate first before we quarantine him outside of the city?
All right.
Do we have a authority to lower the portcullis? Is that
I
like...
don't think so.
I'm gonna intervene and say yes, we do. We may only be second dayers, but we're watchmen nonetheless. And what are we supposed to be doing? Guarding the south gate.
All right.
Gabriel has an
I-
excellent
You know
point.
what? I don't have the energy to fight Gabriel in his attempt to be leader, so you go right ahead.
Gabriel is starting to assert himself as leader, and I'm like, oh, he must have gotten promoted. So I start saluting him. Just like, "No worries, sir."
He's just promoted himself. Confidence, it's all you need.
It's like, yeah. Well, I kind of recognize perhaps that the others have kind of fallen in line with my egotistical authority.
Begrudgingly.
I'll just
Not
kind of like
begrudgingly.
use my words to sort of describe to the guys. Okay, take up your positions. Everyone get to routine inspection, but be ready just in case we need to lower that portcullis.
Yeah. And remember, check the drivers, check the cart.
That's right.
The cart gets a bit closer as you guys see this plume resolve itself into, in fact, a cart. And as it gets closer, you can see that it's not just an open-backed cart like most of them. It is laid by a horse, or rather a donkey, but it's actually got a closed canvas over the top of it, like some Oregon Trail style domed canvas cover. And there's a chimney sticking out the top of that that's belching this smoke. As it gets closer still, you can hear a bell ringing as it approaches before you hear a voice call out, "Whoa there, stop, stop." And the cart comes to a stop, but you don't see the driver.
So they're within view and earshot.
Yeah, so you can approach when you're ready.
Hello! I just yell out to it.
Will you please step out of your cart?
Hey there, lads, come round,
Madam
come
or
round.
sir?
Where are you? The cart? Is the cart?
You're standing kind of head on to the cart, and you see from the right-hand side, as you're looking at it, a woman's head stick out from what appears to be a hole in the canvas on the side. Well, what are you waiting for? Come up! Come on, darlings.
Seeing her head poke out, that's the side I decide to head towards.
As you circle around, you can see that this canvas cover actually has a large rectangular hole cut in it. And there's a woman leaning on a sort of makeshift bench built into the side.
Is this Chef?
It's totally a lunch van.
Brilliant.
Hello?
G'day there, love. Oh, you must be new. I don't recognise any of your faces.
Yeah, no, it's we're new members of the Watch. It's our second day.
Oh, welcome. and she gestures her hand to those of you that are sort of hanging back. Come on, come on. And as you all sort of circle around this opening in the camp, she says, well, it's a pleasure to meet you. My name's Sheila. I do a lap around the gates around this time of day. I know it's hard work being out here and you got early starts. It's a tough life, so I come around and bring you guys some hot, fresh food around this time every day. So get used to me. So my name's Sheila, but my friends call me Bunny. So please call me Bunny.
Sheila, that
Bunny,
sounds
please,
delightful. Well, Mrs. Bunny, perhaps you have some hot food. I'm actually not in. I haven't had breakfast, so I'd be more than happy to.
Absolutely, that's the corner of the market. You see, all you folks in RLPD getting up bright and early to defend the rest of our citizens. It's a real honour to be a part of this city, and I know it's often a thankless job. So anything I can do to cheer up your mornings.
I just want to clarify something. She trundled up along the road for people coming, like, into the city from out of town, right?
Yeah, I mean she's come towards the gate. Yes.
But theoretically, if she visits all of the gates on a day-to-day basis, would she not have come from a different direction?
I mean,
Probably be like a road.
Basically, I don't trust this woman.
I mean that's a question you could ask her.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess... Bunny?
Yes, darling. What can I get you?
No. Why have you come up along the road coming into the city rather than coming from a different direction, indicating you were coming from another gate?
From around the city.
I understand the confusion. Don't worry. I weave in and out of the gates. You see, I try to hit all of the gates before noon. And so I enter through one, leave through another, and weave my way in and out that way. So I'll be coming back out through the hive gate and then circling around and ending my route.
Can I do an insight check?
Yeah, sure.
Well,
Yeah,
she could be lying. She could be lying.
How do you
Yeah,
make it in and out of the gate so fast without having to be quarantined every time? Do you have a pass of some sort?
Well, not a pass per se, but all the watchmen are familiar with me. You will be soon too. Don't you worry. They hear my bell and come running for some hot, fresh food.
Look, if you guys aren't going to order any food, I'm really hungry, so I'm going to order something, okay?
The smell is now making your mouth water.
I did roll a 15 on my insight check.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I find this
It doesn't
super whack.
It doesn't sound. I mean, she doesn't seem to be lying when she says that she's weaving in and out of the gates. It's. I mean, you don't pick up any telltale signs of deceit.
So she's actually...
Bunny, what have you got for offer? I'm quite hungry.
Well, then let me tell you. There's one thing for it. All the watchmen, it's their go-to. Let me get one up for you right away. And because it's your first time, second day on the job, and we're just meeting each other half price. All of you half price. Just this morning. Don't get used to it. Woman's got to make a living.
How does she know we're our second day on the job?
As I said, it's our second day on the job.
Okay. That's fine. I'm very tired.
Rosie straight away. Hang on a minute.
Oh.
Hey,
spotted.
Are we hungry being the middle of the day?
I mean,
we
it's
getting
almost noon at this point. I don't know whether you guys had breakfast or not, but it is almost lunchtime regardless, and it does smell good.
Mm-hmm.
So, Hadrick, Bunny turns around in the cart for a moment, and she turns back and says, "Onions or no onions?"
Oh, yeah, go on then.
Man after my own heart. And a moment later, she comes back with a roughly cut slice of probably yesterday's bread and a fat sausage slapped on top with some onions underneath. It says, "There you go, one bunny snag."
Oh no.
I'm surprised it took you guys so long to get there, by the way.
Piece of shit. Alright, how much does that cost me?
That's incredible.
That's terrible. I see the snag that has been given to Hadric, and my mouth starts to water, and I go, well, a dwarf can't pass up on the opportunity to get some grub. And I walk up, and I would like to order one as well.
Just today,
please, bunny. May I have one as well?
Of course, of course. They're normally 4 coppers, but just 2 coppers each today.
Oh.
Like to give you guys an incentive. Once you've tasted one, you won't be able to say no next time, and full price next time. Don't you worry.
Give her a silver piece and get some change.
No worries. Would you like a drink with that? I've got hot coffee or some nice cool water from upstream.
Oh, do you have have you heard of that water that's it's called Coke? Have you got any?
Isn't that is this a test? Isn't that a street name for that sway stuff? Not gonna fool me.
No. What about a solo? Do you have a solo?
Well, it's just me. This is a solo operation.
I'm fine for a drink.
No worries. Just the 2 coppers. Then she takes the silver and hands you your change. And Klaus, she gives you your snag with onions.
Thank you, bunny. Much appreciated.
Do you, Sir Dwarf, any drink?
Eat it down. No thank you, lovely.
No worries. And the other 2 of you, any food, any drink this morning? Half price only today.
Rosie, would you like any?
I mean, I'm not getting, like, I feel like there are no bad vibes here, and I think I would like a fucking sausage. I'll order.
A sausage?
How much are they again?
2 coppers today. It'll be 4 tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll buy one for 2.
And onions or no onions there, ma'am?
Onions, always.
I like you lot. I like you guys. Gee.
Real question is barbecue or tomato?
Barbecue.
Barbecue.
Tomato.
No question.
Barbecue.
Yeah.
You're all sociopaths.
Yeah.
You also leave tomato sauce bottles on your desk, so you're right in the club with us.
I do.
Look, we're not much.
I'm with Hadric. I'm with Reese. Tomato sauce all the way.
Just tomato.
And you, young man, come on. You're gonna join your
um,
friends in a snag.
Do it.
Yes. Please, actually, I'm rather famished, bunny, and I'm thirsty too. Their coffee, how much does that cost?
Well, today it'll be 1 copper. Tomorrow it'll be 2.
Well, here's 3 copper pieces, 1 bunny snag, and a coffee, please.
Of course. Onions or no onions?
Oh, onions, of course. What are you, crazy?
Good to hear. You know, some of those guards up at the north gates, none of them take onions. It's ridiculous.
No way. Really?
Arranged. A lot of them.
Yeah, we should do an internal investigation into them.
Yeah, I tell you. That Chad and his Alpha Squad, I don't know, there's something up with those guys.
They're tools.
You know Chad and the Alpha Squad, huh?
Oh, yes. Very familiar, unfortunately.
I bet they're tomato guys as well.
And you know what? They never they never tip either. And she comes back with your sausage and a mug of coffee.
Well, I won't be outdone by Chadwick. What was his name? Rumble and the Alpha Squad. So
Undercut.
why don't we set an example for what exactly the watch stands for? Here, Bunny, have an additional copper. Just a tip for you.
Oh, you're too kind, young man. Too kind.
Yeah, I'll throw in a copper too.
R2 will throw in a copper.
I have a question. It's a conditional copper. Did I? I may have misunderstood how much it costs. Does it cost 1 copper today and 2 coppers tomorrow? Or is it 2 coppers today, 4 coppers tomorrow?
It's 2 coppers today, 4 coppers tomorrow. So they're normally 4 coppers for the snag. Today it's 2.
I don't have any spare coppers. I've only got silver, and I am not making change.
It's fine. I got you, Rosie. I'll
Thank you.
throw one in for Rosie.
Oh,
I'll sling a copper your way.
we're gonna get along well. I can tell. Is
Well, that was a pleasure.
is Bernie around by any chance?
I'm afraid no. She
A corporal.
left
Corporal. Sorry,
duty.
I tend to forget the ranks of it. You're all just people to me.
No, I'm afraid she left and had some business to attend to, but does she take a usual order? Perhaps we could get something for her and deliver it.
Oh, well, she usually takes a snag without onions. I give her a pass, though. She's allergic, apparently. Upsets the stomach.
Fair enough. Well, I shall pay 4 copper for Bernadette's.
Oh,
snag.
no, half price, but it's very kind. I'm sure she'll greatly appreciate it. She just takes 2 of the 4 coins that you offered.
Oh, well,
She takes
thank
3
you.
for the tip.
It's too kind.
Yeah,
I'm sure Bernie will greatly appreciate it. And she sort of seems to notice for the first time that some of you are looking a bit banged up. Because if you guys had some trouble this morning.
Oh, a little... Why don't you tell them, Hadrig?
Yeah, we ran into some guys trying to smuggle some contraband, and yeah, they had swords. It sucked.
Oh,
I
my.
wouldn't recommend it.
That's just bloody terrible. I tell you, it's been so quiet for so long. I think we've taken it for granted. My mama and my grandmama used to talk about how the wars that would rage between us and Fusilla, and it's just terrible. And I think we've taken this peace for granted. It's at any moment it could burst into open warfare again. It sounds like things are getting harder everywhere. I really hope you guys are okay here out on the wall. You guys be safe.
We will for you, Bunny.
No, that's
Anything
it.
for you,
I
Bunny.
can't lose any customers.
God, that's sweet.
Well, you give that sausage to Bernie and tell her I said good morning. We like to have our little catch-ups, but I understand. Always busy in the watch.
Well, thank you very kindly for your delivery this morning.
I'll see you next time you're on Gate Watch. I know the shifts can be a bit all over the place, but if you're hungry throughout the day, once I've finished my rounds at the gates in the morning, I can usually be found around the market areas. Plenty of business throughout the day.
Sweet.
Let's do this.
She gives you guys a kind of mock salute, and you can see now that you're looking through the window that the reins for the horse actually come in through the canvas, and she's actually driving the horse from inside the carriage. She
As she salutes, I give her a full salute back.
snap to attention.
Tear
Yeah,
coming down your eye.
God, speed.
it's just a snag hanging out of her mouth. Just be like, oh.
God bless you,
I,
boys.
give-
Homer, those
get
are
a
ice
thump
cream
on the
men.
shoulder.
I know. Sorry, Chris. What was that, Gabriel?
I thump Hadrig on the shoulder and sort of snarkily sort of say something to him under my breath, like, have some respect for yourself.
How is that snarky? That's just mean.
Oh, sorry, sir.
That's my character in a nutshell.
You're trying to be snarky, but you're just a tool.
Yeah. Hey, it's one of the same, right? Works for Chad Thundercock.
Got him promoted to Alpha Squad.
That's right. I'll be in Alpha Squad soon. I will.
Gabriel's got plans on moving up, boys.
The dream. That's the dream.
Bunny's cart begins rolling through the gate as you guys are munching down on your snags.
Nom 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 nom.
Have my mouth full of food as she passes through the gates. And I just turn to the others and I'm like, should we have checked her cart?
Look.
Hey,
if
look,
you-
I
You go ahead.
I attempted to question it. I attempted to be like, is she actually a lunch cart? And y'all were like, a sausage, please.
The dwarf can't turn down a meal.
That's right. She had onions. You don't understand.
Just wait until she's found with green apples. Just
Onions
wait.
and my heart.
That she does.
As the gate disappears around a bend into the depths of the city, and you guys are watching it go, you see Sergeant Chaplin
Uh-oh.
heading your way through the gates. As he approaches, he's got 2 other members of the watch that you haven't seen before, but in full uniform. And as he approaches, he says, "Well, looks like you got your first taste of real action on the job. You're all still breathing, though, I can see."
Yeah, these sausages were delicious.
I missed Bunny. Oh, Gabriel, is that one for me, is it?
Yes, Sergeant. I thought I would get you one because I knew you were coming somehow.
I appreciate the thought, but extra onions next time, eh? And he grabs it off of you and slaps you on the back. And
I just tug on Gabriel's sleeve, and I'm just like, you have the backbone of a chocolate eclair.
And I retort with, "The chocolate eclairs are delicious."
Yeah, they're also soggy and weak.
I was on the bench.
I was over on the bench.
I sort of make a noise like, and sort of shake you off my arm and go back to being smug and egotistical.
with a mouth half full of a bunny snag, the sergeant says, "Well, I've got to say I'm pretty impressed that I saw the 4 that the corporal brought into the watch house, and it looks like you guys did a pretty good job considering they out-armed you pretty drastically. And I heard you made a pretty
sort
good...
of like do a sort of stand up and almost mock salute. I'm like, I did a fair amount of bonking, sir.
Oh, they'll be sore tomorrow, and we'll see if their bruises have time to heal before they're hanged."
Good to know.
Brutal.
Well, the corporal's going to be tied up with paperwork for that lot all day, and I'm going to stay out here with these boys for the next shift, so
Did you put it in the
you've got the rest of the afternoon to yourselves. We'll call it a half day. Feel free to rest and recuperate before tomorrow's shift. I expect you bright and early at the watch house. No excuses.
Yes,
Thanks,
Sergeant.
Sergeant.
Chaplain.
Yes, sir. Give me
Yes,
another salute.
sir.
Good. Dismissed.
All right,
Start,
sweet.
man.
Just start walking away.
Alright, well, yeah. Guess that's it for the day, lads.
Let's go take a long rest.
Hey, Rosie, you mentioned earlier a pub. I think maybe it's time for a drink. I had
A drink?
pretty rough morning.
Did someone say ale? That sounds like a
That
fine
really
idea.
was.
I'm gonna say this. Gabriel
It's
needs to roll
literally-
for persuasion if I'm gonna tell him where it is.
Yeah.
Surely we can go down to drinking dicks otherwise.
Man.
Hey, I'll do it again just for roleplay. Hey, Rosie, you mentioned a pub in the Burrows.
What do
No?
you need to beat for me to have to
Uh,
give it up?
It's up to you. You called for the role, bro.
Yeah,
That's true.
maybe. Let's just call it against your passive wisdom. So what's 10 plus your wisdom modifier?
It's my passive wisdom is 4.
No.
Oh, so 14. 10 plus
Yep.
4, yeah.
Yep.
So not enough to wheedle the information out of you unless you want to willingly give it up.
Your ability to know where the burrow is left with Bernadette's lunch.
Yeah, look, I know it was for Bernie, but the Sarge was there.
Look, man, could have said it was for Bernie. You probably would have been like, "Oh, okay. How are we supposed to know he was coming? We didn't know, man."
Well, I mean, if you guys want to go for a drink, we can always go to drinking dicks again.
I say we just go back to drinking some dicks.
Last time we went to Drinking Dicks, 2 befouled people accosted us in one way or another. Are we sure we want to go back there?
Look, all I'm saying is I'm not sure you guys will want to go to a gnome bar, all right? It's
A gnome bar.
it's a different crowd. It's you know, a smaller affair to go there. It's just not that big a deal.
Are you saying we're not cool enough for the gnome bar?
No, I'm saying you're too fucking tall, bro.
Yeah, surely this would be somewhere that's more comfortable for you. Or is it awkward with us being around?
Well,
Are we friends, Rosie? Are we friends yet? It's been 2 days.
It's been 2 days, and I don't know yet. Like,
Well,
give me
let's
a
head back to Drinking Dicks. It's close to the station, and we can get changed into our civilian clothes.
We do have clothes to get. That is true.
With discussions of drinks and sausages, you head back through the gates into the city. And on that, we will head to our mid-game break.
Alright, bunny snag. Life is
Got a
good.
bunny snag.
Yes.
I'm gonna be an absolute bellend. I'm gonna go. Tom gave me pizza, but he didn't notice the message I sent
yeah.
him where I was like, "Can you put it in the air fryer?" Because if anyone doesn't put their leftover pizza in the air fryer to reheat it, you're doing it wrong.
I don't have an air fryer.
Wow. Okay.
I put mine in a
don't
sandwich
own an
press.
air fryer.
Noted. I am definitely going to try that with my next pizza.
Yeah, sounds good.
It keeps it so crispy. It's amazing.
Well, I guess it works the same as if you were to put it in the oven again, right? So, like,
Yeah. Just it takes 3 minutes.
Cold pizza is good too.
3 minutes.
Yeah, cold pizza's pretty good.
3 minutes.
I was-
yeah,
Cold
apparently-
pizza is not good. Come
no,
on.
it's not.
Cold
it's
pizza
disgusting.
is pretty
It's
good.
pretty good.
Cold
The
pizza
point-
is quite good.
No, you're the sort of
point-
people who have been told all your life by your dad or some other uncle who's like, cold pizza's the best to put hairs on your chest. In reality,
Who says that? Nobody
you don't
says
go to
that.
Domino's and order a
whole
cold pizza
world.
because it is meant to be served hot. So you can't tell me that cold pizza is good pizza. It
It's
is.
disgusting.
All pizza
It's
is good
absolutely
pizza.
disgusting.
But I would much prefer to have it warm.
The vocal minority over here, while 3 of us are saying that.
Yeah, all
it's
I'm
alright.
hearing is that we know that cold pizza's good, so we don't have to argue. But then
You're wrong. You're straight up wrong.
Bro,
You
no
guys
one's
get
saying
so
that
frustrated.
cold pizza is better than hot pizza, right? I would eat. I could eat hot pizza, but you know, sometimes you just like you wake up 2 o'clock in the morning and you're just like, I can't be bothered
Yeah.
fucking around with
Yeah.
the microwave, right? So I'll just grab one, grab a slice, munch it down, go back to bed.
That's not my
Like,
preference, but it's
I could
okay.
eat a cold pizza, but I would just feel like I did a dishonor, like I dishonor myself,
Yeah.
disservice.
Nah, cold
myself
pizza's all
for
right,
eating
man.
it
You're
cold.
wrong.
I'll tell you what,
Nah.
I was.
It's got bad mouth feels when it's cold.
I wasn't sure whether I was happy or upset
Shocking.
that you guys called both of like the. You basically worked out what Bunny or who Bunny was before she even rocked up. Lachlan goes, "Oh, a smell? Is it a bunning snag?" And then Reese is like, "Is it a lunch van?
Yeah.
Is it the lunch van?" And I'm like, "It's both of those things."
Yeah, telecast again.
I mean,
It's like correct.
I'm glad we're all on the same wavelength, but I feel like you pulled the rug out from me on the reveal.
Yeah. Well, lucky for you, I'm stupid enough to have not got it until you literally spelled it out.
To
I-
be fair, there were a few people that didn't get it until the very end.
Yeah.
I didn't get the whole bunny when you nicknamed her because you obviously named her Sheila from the start, and then I was like, oh cool, and it wasn't until obviously you were like, it's a bunny snag, and I was like, we're getting sausages. I see. I could have been anything. Reese was talking about sausage rolls.
Bro, I was like, I'll get a sausage roll, please.
Yeah. I actually had the idea. I was sitting having dinner with Jess the other day, and I had been I think I was editing some of the audio from previously, and I was just kind of like grinning to myself, and she was like, "What?" And I was like, "I'm gonna make a character called Bunny, and she's gonna sell sausages, and they're gonna be called Bunny Snags."
Oh, God.
I was so pleased with myself.
So
How long has it been
Sir.
since Jess talked to you?
Yeah, that's that moment. Please don't ever talk to me again as long as you live.
Have you guys been enjoying it,
Cheers.
chat? I'm gonna scroll back on up here. Make sure that let's see what we have missed.
now you've made me incredibly hungry, so I'm going to scoot
sorry.
and get a snack.
I had dinner before we started.
So did I. I had half a sub.
Guys, we
Subway.
started an hour later. You should
And
have
it
had...
was.
I know,
great.
right? Did you guys not have dinner?
I did, but now I want a snack.
I finished work and then took an hour to drive home and then walked in the door and sat down.
But
So
I wasn't
no,
calling
haven't
you out,
eaten yet.
Beck. I was calling out everyone else who got an hour's extra
We
leeway.
didn't have time,
I mean,
okay?
to be fair, I'm gonna when we take our break, I am actually gonna grab some food. But
That's fair. Before we do that, I'll just run down the list here, make sure that we've said hi to everyone. Spam dropped in. Hi, Spam. And then left for Macca's, so we'll see if Spam has returned
And
with
then she
Macca's.
came back.
Spam
She
is
came
Oh,
back.
okay. I haven't got that far down the chat log. All right. I'm telling you.
Oh, sorry,
you're
spoilers.
spoiling the ending of the chat log for me. Moron, hang on a second. We're just playing Sheriff of Nottingham. Yeah, basically. We sort of kicked off this mini game, I guess, last session, and the guys were on the lookout specifically for an excess of weapons, sway, which is a street drug, and green apples for an unexplained reason. The king banned green apples from being imported into the city, and they did make a heroic drug bust when they took a small vial from an old man who used it to ease his aching joints. And a shipment full of crossbows, but no apples. No apples were found. I can reveal that apples made it into the city because of these plebs.
Probably in the food part, right?
You
Will
see,
you
think
reveal
so?
who it went with?
No. I'll say that you guys didn't roll a high enough perception check.
Wow.
Rosie has a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Ooh, Rosie and Tim.
I wasn't
Kissing
expecting
in the
that.
tree.
That was
Ghost Owl
rude.
dropped in. Hi, Ghost. How are you? Thank you for haunting the chat. We're all doing well. I'm doing well. Got off work and wanted to find a stream to wind down with. Also starting a D&D campaign later today. That is
I
rad.
love my PlayStation.
Cool.
Are you playing or are you DMing, Ghost Owl? I love being on both sides of the DM screen. What's going on in this setting? Well, I will give you a quick rundown of the game. And I guess who we are. I am Kye. I am DMing. We have got Beck in the top left, who is playing the gnome rogue Rosefina. We have
Yes.
Lachlan, who is currently off getting food like some sort of pleb, who is playing Klaus.
I was gonna wait for a break before I went back and got my pizza.
I know, and then Lachlan's ruined everything. He's playing Klaus, the dwarf. Oh, there he is. Nope.
Cleric.
There was his elbow. Here's the dwarf cleric. We've got Reese, who is playing the half-orc paladin, and we have got Chris, who's playing the human fighter stroke archer. And all four of them have joined RLPD, Rolands Landing Polis Defence, also known as the Watch within the city. And this is their first full day on the job. And last session they got beat up by some guys trying to smuggle weapons into the city.
We got sliced.
We did. But they got bonked, which is worse.
They did get bombed.
Yeah, exactly. I'd rather have a cut than a concussion. Am I right, lads?
At least with a cut you can go to sleep. Am I right?
Depends how deep the cut is.
One that severs you in half, maybe.
Yeah,
That's
still
a
not
long
recommended.
sleep.
We're cops, pretty much.
Best cop.
Boys.
Alright, I'm running to the loo. BRB.
No worries, we'll go to a break in just a second. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss any people in
I think
chat.
we had someone follow us.
Yes, we did. Starstriker68 followed us. Thank you very much, Starstriker68. Much appreciated. Hope you're enjoying the game so far. Apologies that we didn't say thank you at the time. We just try to keep things streamlined while we're playing and chat to folks in this little gap. Volley Cruise in chat. Welcome on in. Hope
And
you're
Plu, hello Plu, how you
enjoying
doing?
so far? And Plu, yes. So I scrolled straight to the bottom of the chat and missed the new ones. Welcome on in. Hope you guys are enjoying. Spam missed the beginning. Why are apples bad? It's just green apples. The late king passed down an edict that green apples were not to be imported into the city. No real explanation as to why. They're just not allowed. Maybe he hoards them for himself or something. Maybe he's got something against them. Weird.
Strange man.
If only I thought of an in-game
Granny-
reason for an out-of-game reference.
He just crazy. He just crazy, man.
He's
That's
nuts,
what it
man.
is.
He's nuts. Alrighty, guys, we're going to jump to a quick break. I know that we've had some people pop in and out getting food and stuff, but I need to go and have a quick bladder relief.
I'm gonna go waterbend.
Yep, and we will be back very, very shortly with part 2 of session 3 of RLPD. So sit tight, keep yourselves entertained in chat, send some finger guns, and we will be back very, very soon.
Woo!
We're back, sort of.
Oh,
Unofficially back.
Beck, do you want to tell everyone what the technical difficulties were?
Again, I blame Lachlan because last week everything was all set up, and then this week Lachlan was like, "Hey guys, we're gonna change some settings. We're gonna make it sound even better." And Beck was tired and didn't notice that she had selected an audio sampling rate that had 4 zeros in it, not 3. So, for the sake of the audio, we record all of our stuff separately, and about 40 minutes, like it was a chunk of time before these gentlemen, my audio just stopped recording, and I didn't realize until we went to our break. And I was like, why? What the fuck? How have I run out of space? And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, wait. It's 480,000 hertz, my project rate, instead of 48,000.
So Beck just had to outdo us, and her audio is going to be 10 times better than any of ours. So if you watch,
That's how it works.
her audio is actually recording footage. That's playing.
so
Guys,
if
this week Beck is going to be playing Doom at 1,000 frames a second, so get ready for that.
So if you guys
Doesn't-
are
doesn't
watching this later on YouTube, you'll notice that everyone sounds really good up until that point. And Beck will sound incredible up until that point. And then Beck will sound like a robot because we've dropped back to the backup Twitch capture of the audio. And then very shortly Beck will get a very good sounding again once she manages to export that mammoth of a file and start recording again.
Or I just cuts this whole section out.
I can see through time.
The file is so big I can't save it on the drive that it's trying to save on.
Oh no.
Just save directly to the Google Drive.
Are you okay, Beck?
I'll be fine. Look, we'll be fine, okay? It's fine, don't worry about it. I should have been putting this stuff on one of my hard drives anyway, and I guess I just didn't think about it.
That's funny. Be able to see our sound waves? Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm glad we ran into this. I'm kind of not surprised that we ran into issues, and I'm kind of glad we did, because I feel like it would happen one day where we just wouldn't notice it and just be like, well, there goes that entire episode. Whereas at least this seems to be somewhat recoverable.
Look.
I think it will be recoverable, and basically when I start my recording again, I'll just ask Kye to do the countdown for me. So if he does how we do it off camera, then it just means he'll be able to sync it up better for where it needs to go.
It'll be fine.
We'll be fine. We'll figure it out.
Be fine.
I do have it. I do have the temporary files set to somewhere else, and now I get to. I can't believe I'm gonna have to figure out some way to maybe like decompress these or something. But basically, I have to have 2 audio files because of how big the gap is,
Nice.
which is a little frustrating. But that's fine.
Look, it'll be okay. The real question is, how is the air-fried pizza?
Crunchy.
Nice.
It's a crunchy pizza, the way God intended.
Yeah, not like a cold, soggy pizza, right?
Look, a cold,
So-
soggy
Why's the
pizza
pizza gotta be soggy, man?
soaks up the booze after a big night out pretty well.
Bro, my dad gave me the best advice. If you ever go out drinking and have pizza, you put the pizza box under your pillow, and then when you wake up, the pizza's still warm in the morning.
Is your dad a genius?
That sounds like alcoholic talk there.
That's. Hey, this was back in his alcoholic days. So
Sounds... Look, honestly, not a bad idea.
yeah.
Except for the greasy pillow, I suppose. That bit...
Yeah,
That
but
sounds like
you've been
some-
drinking all
some
night.
roommate
Chances
shit.
are it's not your pillow.
That sounds like living with a like a house full of boys sort of shit.
Yeah, living
That's what
on
that
a boat.
Yep. Definitely
Living
sounds
on
like the
a,
sort of thing I could have done coming home from like a nightclub and crashing at someone's house I met that night on their couch.
Yeah. Hey man, have you got a spot for your pizza? For my pizza? I just put it under your pillow, man. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, man. Petition
My dad.
Reese's
My
dad
dad now
fresh
eats.
pizza.
My dad now eats pizza with a knife and fork, so he's changed his ways.
Oh boy,
Oh,
Whoa.
that's
like
lol.
diametrically opposite.
Bro, he's gone from one extreme to another.
Yeah.
Like,
I can get behind it.
yeah, of course you could.
The poll ended. 2 votes for onions, 2 votes for extra onions, no votes for no onions. We got a good
Yeah,
chat.
there was one vote for no onions, wasn't there?
Was
One
it?
vote for no onions.
Oh, yep,
yeah.
there was indeed.
Yeah.
1 vote for no onions. Who are you?
Yeah, we should discredit that person from the poll.
I used to be a no onions person, and then I saw the light.
Wow.
Well,
We will
Sweet.
just wait for Beck to get her audio.
The file was so big it crashed Audacity because I have to close it. I had
my
to close
God.
it to change where it was being saved. It's
Nice.
fine. Don't worry about it.
Welcome
for 5
to the
more minutes.
welcome
Alright,
to the
It's fine. It's fine.
no sleep D&D stream where I was power napping before we started. Chris is probably running on no sleep. Beck is clearly running on no sleep, and I don't know about Kye and Reese. They seem to be doing okay, but Kye did have sleep in a can, so
I've had a long day.
He's
but
got
I have
that
got
going
sleep
for
in a
him.
can.
I've been dealing with a migraine all day, so I've been like trying to sleep all day, and it's not been successful. So
Yeah, I hate
Yeah.
migraines.
I used to be
Okay.
a no onions guy, but then I took an arrow to the knee.
Took an arrow to the onion. All right, I'm ready. I
I
am
know what a
ready
meme
to
sir, but it
record.
checks out.
I'm ready to record again, sir.
Beck, can I just get you to count your zeros for me?
48000.
I think.
And I
Zero.
closed one eye to make sure that no double eyes were getting involved. All right.
you know what, Spam. I would be very keen to try and do a 24-hour D&D session.
Man. All right, Becky, you ready? I'm going to count you in.
Don't even.
This is just for you.
Yep.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Beck's
Okay.
back.
We are recording.
Nice.
Hey.
Yeah, I was going to say
Wow.
when sleep deprived D&D, we should all at some point stay up like all night just doing whatever, and then do like a sleep deprived D&D session where we're all just loopy from lack of sleep.
Sounds like a mess.
Or as Spam said, just a 24-hour D&D session with no pre-planning. I'd totally do that. We should make that like a goal on the channel.
Yeah.
Once we reach a certain number of followers or something.
Once we've got $1,000 in donations.
Once we've got enough to justify doing that to ourselves,
Yes,
Yeah.
an ad lib.
we block out 24 hours with zero pre-planning. We all go into it totally raw. The poor DM, whoever that is, shotgun not, has to come up with everything on the fly.
Right.
Excellent. We should do that, but we did a one shot a little while ago where everyone played commoners. So everyone was level 1, which is really more like level 1/4. Commoners. Everyone played farmers. I can't remember who played in that one. Lachlan, were you in that one? Chris, were you guys in that?
Yeah, I
Did it-
was in
did
it.
it
That was
last-
when we
did
found
it
the
last
magic
one?
wand, right?
Was with the wands, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
And the premise was they were all just plebs with absolutely no adventuring experience whatsoever. They were all just farmers. And then this guy rolls into town with a cartload of magic wands. And he says, I don't know what any of these wands do.
Oh, what a
I want
bloody
you guys to
legend.
test
It's
them
finger
for us.
guns. Pew, 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 pew.
Fate of the Dice, thank you very much for the follow. We're about to get stuck into the second half of our session. We just finished our break in technical difficulties resolution. I was just talking about a one-shot we ran, and the guy was like, every one of these wands that you test, I'll give you a gold piece.
I'll be back.
If you can tell me what they do. And each of the wands was a wand of magic missile, but with a random D10,000 magic effect applied to it. Can't remember where I got the list now. If you search D10,000 wild magic or something like that, you should be able to find it. And so it was just these commoners blasting gnolls with magic missiles. There was also like doing crazy, wacky
Yeah.
things. One of them caused one of them to, like, violently explode into, like, gore. Another turned one of them into, like, having an obsession with the color red, so we just started rolling around in these puddles of blood and guts. It was just absolute chaos. Jeez. But it was fun. It was a good laugh.
It was fun. No, it was excellent.
That sounds mental.
Absolutely.
I would do it as, like, if there was no preparation whatsoever, then I would do it as if, like, obviously the DM's going to try and find out what the story is, but then introducing each player individually and then, like, building their character sheet on the fly. It's like, hey, we find a man just, paddling in a little creek here, stepping in some puddles and stuff. Bam! Chris, tell me about your character and why you're dicking around in a fucking puddle. And also, this lovely scenery. And now write down in your sheet that you're a wizard and you found a wand in the puddle, alright?
So
That would
I
be
think
pretty good.
I think I've seen like a Tumblr post about this before, but it was someone's concept of a D&D game where the characters only reveal bits about themselves as they attempt to roll it. So it means that if, like, someone tries to roll persuasion, they'll roll it and they're like 13, and the DM's like, you fail. But they have to try and figure out what their stats are on the go.
That's cool.
That's a wicked magic item, Fate of the Dice. A magic item called Ring of Finger Guns that shoots magic missile and the trigger word is pew pew. That might be something I need to add in. It's a late game weapon for these guys.
I mean, that is definitely something that would work well with the context of the channel.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Here's some finger guns. Pew 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 pew.
Oh no, you're shooting!
I'm the magic man!
I'm a magic man with my magic finger guns.
Magic.
Yeah, back to what you just said. It's like you've got a scratch off sheet. So you got your coin there. You're like, what is my name? Scratch, 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 scratch. Yes. I'm gonna take some damage now. What's my AC? That's a good way to introducing people to D&D. It's like, don't worry about it until you get to it.
That would be.
It'll come up when it comes up.
That would be a pretty good session, especially sleep deprived and totally out of it. We'll talk to the finance team and ask what the goal is for that.
Tom, what's the goal?
Alrighty.
So you guys didn't ask, but I have about hang on, let's see if it'll tell me, about 1,800 hours left of recording space.
Nice.
Hey.
Alright, so
Now
we're
we're
gonna wrap
talking.
it up.
We gotta
Yeah,
wrap
just
it up,
enough
guys.
for another
That's
recording.
a bit better than 40 minutes.
Actually, it was an hour and 25.
Oh,
Thank you
okay.
very much.
Did you change your zeros?
You got me there.
Yeah, we fixed it.
I'm gonna get Beck's second file. It's gonna be 48
Yeah.
instead of
So
4800.
Beck, have you got
Zero.
Audacity open? I want you to ignore Audacity and go over to the speaker icon in the corner of your screen.
Tech
And
tips
then
with
we'll
Lachlan.
open that up. Oh, the option is not there. I don't know where to go from here. But change everything.
My favorite thing is I didn't realize until I went to export the file, and I was like, why is it so freaking big? What has changing it to 48,000 changed so much about it? And I'm looking at it, and I can't figure it out, and I'm looking at it, and then finally that puzzle piece just slots into place. Like that one edge piece that you couldn't quite figure out where it was, and I was just like, there's a fourth zero there.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Okay.
Alright.
Classic.
Ready, spaghetti?
Alright, I'm flicking
I'm
us back
ready.
to our tabletop.
Alrighty.
Goodbye, chat.
Thanks for the break, chat. As you can see, we're about to jump into our focused gaming session where we unfortunately ignore you guys verbally, but watch out for us in chat. We will still try and say hello. But we'll be back for our post-game wrap-up after this little chunk. So you guys feeling battered and bruised, except for Gabriel, who's now totally recovered. Thanks to Klaus.
Really good.
Did did the bunny snags not do much for our health or anything?
Not for your health, but you got a full belly now, and they were tasty.
Yeah,
And the morale is high.
100%.
Yeah, they're not
Yeah.
magical healing ones.
Bit of a morale boost.
They could be.
Morale is high. It's good. It's what you want.
And you guys are left with the afternoon to yourselves. really. You could you had some talk about perhaps going to Drinkin' Dick's, the police bar, or possibly the Burrow was mentioned.
We'll head to Drinkin' Dick's only because Rosefina had said that the Burrow was kind of a hardened kind of place.
I don't believe I said that.
She said we were not cool enough to hang out with
No.
those gnome folk.
We're not turtle enough to hang out in the turtle.
In the
Club.
turtle club.
Exactly. So
What a
instead,
class.
we're going to go back to Drinkin' Dick's, and then we'll also be able to change out of our uniform.
We've got the afternoon. Let's go back to the station. We'll change our uniform, and then we'll go drink some dicks.
Means I get my weapons back. Yay!
Hey!
Nice.
And also taking a long rest.
Yeah. Just a quick note. Beck, could you slide your camera to your right slightly? I'm not sure if you've moved or the camera has moved, but you're a bit out of frame there.
Hang on, let me have a look. I was doing it on camera before. I've just opened stream so I can see
Just so
where
we
I am.
don't chop you in half, that's all.
How's that?
Her
Lovely.
audio will be chopped in half, and her camera will be
Lovely.
chopped in half. It's the theme of the
She's
day.
a half
Just-
gnome.
Basically,
It's just been a
Maybe
week,
not.
ladies and gentlemen. It's been a bloody week.
Yup.
So you guys mosey from
York.
the south gate back to the watch house. The city
Rosie
is
doing a
definitely-
mosey.
Rosie's doing a mosey. The city is definitely bursting with life. Plenty of people moving to and fro, carts carrying goods around the city. People give you a not really a wide berth, but they step out of your way once they notice the uniforms. Some of them shoot you dirty looks because of the uniforms, but you make your way back to the watch house without incident. Heading in through the front door, you see absolutely no one around. The watch house appears to be pretty empty at the moment.
Right, well.
Alright, well, I
Drinkin' Dick's
guess.
it is.
Yeah, let's get changed into our normal clothes and head off.
Let's do it.
Yep, you guys cross over to the locker room, get changed out of your uniforms and into your civvies. You taking all your weapons and things with you as well?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, just geared up, pretty much.
Yep. And anything else you guys want to do at the watch house before you head out?
There's a big part of me that wants to go snooping through desks, and I don't know why.
I mean,
Well,
I know.
I
why.
almost feel like we're like walking through, and I'm just sort of like eyeing off all the desks, and I just go, no, bad Rosie.
it's so empty. The opportunity is prime.
I guess I'll have a
Trolls,
look
they call
around,
to me.
like where all the dormitories and sort of back rooms are, just to have like a little peek at the interior of the watch house and see what I can find.
As
So-
those guys are going snooping around, I stand at the door and I'm like, are you guys coming? We're going to get some ale, and I'm going to leave without you if you guys are not coming right behind. I've got beer waiting, calling my name.
Okay, just a minute, Klaus. I'm just looking for the toilet.
Gabriel, you take a quick mooch around the building. You never really got a proper tour. You've seen most of the ground floor in sort of entrance area, the area with the interrogation rooms and all the desks, and the locker room. At the far end of the locker room, it adjoins onto what appears to be some sort of barracks or cots along the walls. Pretty rudimentary, but there are accommodations here if necessary.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much all there is to see on the ground floor. There is the second story where the balcony oversits the entrance of the watch house, which is where you presume the captain's office is. It's where you saw Sergeant Chaplin and Captain Noble come out of on your first day.
Okay. Just at a glance, how many like holdings are there for watchmen here, like beds and lockers and things? Like, how many people could this place kind of sustain, for lack of a better word?
Give me an insight check.
Let me just swap to my character sheet. Insight. 3.
Ouch.
Looking around, you'd say there's roughly 20 bunks in that room. How many are in use or have been used recently, you're not sure. You just kind of glance in. Yeah, 20-ish.
I'll head back to meet Klaus at the door and said, sorry, Klaus, I got sidetracked. It's a little strange that there would be so many lockers and rooms here to house watchmen, and really we've only sort of hung out with one another. I haven't seen many of the other watch folk around.
I just kind of pipe up and I'm just like, maybe they're dead.
They could be.
Cold.
That could be true.
They could be out on watch, and maybe they're all at Bunny's getting lunch.
Like, that's a preferable alternative to death, I suppose.
I mean, if you're that concerned, we can have a chat to either corporal or sergeant or captain whenever we see them next. See who else we're working with, because at the moment, and I look around and gesture to all the empty desks and stuff, I'm like, it looks like no one's been here for a while.
I guess you're right. Maybe this place just doesn't see as much sort of use as it used to be. But anyway, nonetheless, let's head off.
Maybe it's just a simple case of everybody's just not been in so much because they're preparing for the coronation.
Oh yeah, when's that supposed to happen?
That is a good question, actually.
It's only been like a month or two since King Roland died, right? Well,
So it's been...
not King Roland, the king.
Yeah, King Roland. It's been King Roland III. It's been a week since King Roland died. Currently, you guys are about, a little over a week. You're halfway through the month of mourning before the princess's coronation. So you've got a week and a half now until the princess's coronation.
Troubling times. Well, let's go have a beer and see if we can't run into old Chadwick Rumble-Rod again.
Rumble-Rod, more like...
Go on.
Yeah, go on.
More like Thundercock.
Yeah.
Oh, got him.
I'd prefer not to see that man again, if given the choice.
Well, this time let's sit in a different seat and just, try to keep a low profile.
I mean, that is the fair alternative. We just don't steal his seat.
I mean...
I think we established last time that wasn't his seat. He doesn't usually drink there.
Yeah, he has nothing to do with that bar.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
let's
sure
get
he just
some-
wanted
The
to...
man's a jerk. Can we just move on, please? He gave me a
Yeah.
black eye. Fuck that guy. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go get some ale, and maybe some of the rest of the watch will be down at Drinking Dicks as well.
Alright, you lead the way, Klaus.
Let's go!
You guys leave the watch house and make your way down to Drinking Dicks. It's where you left it. Still people giving it a wide berth. In this part of the city, even during the day, down in the boroughs, it's still pretty shady. And even though it may not actually be darker, it feels more oppressive just because of how sort of claustrophobic it is. And as you pass alleyways, they feel darker as the buildings are closer together and, less light gets down to the street. So you do kind of feel on edge as you move through this dangerous area of the city. But around Drinking Dicks, there is still that sort of block radius where there doesn't seem to be as many suspicious characters about. And entering Drinking Dicks for the second time, again, it takes a moment for your eyes to adjust. maybe a second longer this time since you're coming in from the noon sun as opposed to coming in the evening. But quickly your eyes do adjust to the dim room. There's far less people in here than there were last night. After a moment's looking around, you see there's a table with two watchmen in sort of hushed conversation that look up as you enter but quickly go back to their drinks, and another figure sitting at a table alone at the back of the bar. You can give us a perception check if you'd like, everybody,
Oh, I think I would like.
Oh yeah, go on.
as you have a look around.
Oh yes, well,
It's
With my
7
dark
from
vision.
Klaus, a 2 from Hadrig, 10 from Gabriel,
Yeah.
and a 15 from
It's
Rosie.
dark in here.
15 ain't bad, alright?
15. Well, 15 is the best out of anyone.
Yeah.
15
Do I
ain't
get
shabby.
any? Do I get any pluses because I have dark vision?
Oh, do you have dark vision, Hadrig? I didn't know.
Yeah.
God, thank God you let us know.
Beck is the only one that sort of scrutinises the other patrons, and after a moment realises that the figure sitting at a table alone right in the back corner is none other than the captain, Jacinta Noble. Behind the bar is not the friendly face of Shuli, but a rather bored-looking short man who's hunched over the bar, sort of scrubbing away at some stain. He doesn't even look up as you enter.
I just sort of like elbow whoever is next to me, because it's a reckless abandon elbow as I notice that it's the captain. I'm like, we should go sit with her!
Why does everyone keep elbowing me?
No, don't elbow
This time
me.
it would be your thigh or hip, surely.
Yeah.
Surely, yeah. While we're off the clock, we should touch base with Jacinta and see maybe she has some news for us.
She is
Something.
your captain, Hadrig. No, not Hadrig. Gunter. She is your captain.
Also not Gunter.
You know what? I give up. I give up.
Klaus.
I'm done.
Klaus
Klaus.
Gunterberg.
Look, I've only known you for 2 days. That's
It's alright.
I knew Gunter was there somewhere.
Yeah, it's just a nickname.
Yeah.
He could start calling you Swifty.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway,
Get-
come on. Let's
Good
do
at
it.
Well,
Swifty.
Well, you lead the
where are you
way.
guys heading?
We're
the
gonna.
bar, the
I'm
table?
going to go sit down with Jacinta,
Yep.
with our captain.
yeah. I'll follow as well.
I would
head
like
to
to go
the-
to the bar, order an ale before proceeding.
Yep.
I'll head to the bar and order everyone an ale, including Jacinta.
Oh.
Amazing. Disregard my ale purchase.
Klaus and Gabriel, you
Blame
guys
yourself.
approach the bar. The man looks up from scrubbing away at the bar. As you get closer in the gloom, you can see that he's wearing a full watchman's uniform. Got the day off, huh?
Yes, something like that. 5 ales, please.
Yeah, coming up.
Yeah. Sergeant Boris Chaplin gave us the rest of the day off.
Oh, lucky. It's not often that Chaplain hands out those sorts of perks, as far as I can tell. And he drops
sure
the
it's-
brush on the bench.
Possibly for good work at the gate, or the fact that we got a beating, to say the least.
He gives you a look up and down. Well, it's not the first time that distinguished members of the Rolands Landing Polis Defence got injured in the line of duty. He seems to...
Oh, it's all part of the job. It is in protecting the people of Rolands Landing,
suppose so. He kind of
for the good and the bad.
shoots a glance towards the table where the captain's sitting as he turns around and fills 5 mugs and puts them on the counter. Is that it?
Thank you. That'll be it for now, but we'll probably be over later.
Sure thing. And he picks up the brush and starts scrubbing away.
I didn't catch your name.
Yeah, that's Robert. Rob.
The
He's a
Well,
Bobby.
Pleasure to meet you, Rob. I'm Gabriel, and this is my friend Klaus.
Nice to meet you. You're New around here then?
We are. We haven't quite become as jaded as it seems that you have. Perhaps in time we'll be on a more connective level with regards to that.
Jeez, Gabriel, did you want to kick him in the balls while you were at it?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm leading up to that, right?
We'll see. Enjoy the ale.
Okay. Will do. Alright, class, can you carry 3?
Certainly.
I'll take these 2.
Rosie and Hadrig, it's as you approach the table, you can see the captain has a bottle of some sort of spirits on the table and a glass in front of her.
How full is the bottle in front of her?
It looks about half full in the light.
Interesting.
Ah, Captain. Maybe take a seat? Surely you're not going to drink alone.
You're still at the bar at the moment. It's just Hadrig and Rosie approaching to begin with, as you guys are ordering.
I just imagine like class like sprinting over, being
Yes.
pet.
The ale.
Captain!
So I stand next to the table and just full on salute. I'm like, sir, ma'am, how's it going?
She looks up and
Salute
kind
off.
of blinks up at you and rubs her on her eyes. Oh, Hadrig, right? You at ease. Get the hand down.
Thank you, ma'am. Put my hands behind my back, like in the at ease.
I nonchalantly, at least compared to Hadrig, stand next to him, and I'm just like, may we sit with you, ma'am, or are you looking for some alone time right now?
Sit if you'd like. I won't be here much longer anyway.
Okay. Sit.
Awkwardly pull up a chair. Yeah. It's like what is it? Like a stool, like a bench.
Yeah.
And she's on the bench, and then I'm just pulling the bench out so I can squeeze in and then pull the bench back in.
How's the first day on the job going then?
We got brutally beaten, ma'am, but don't worry. We stopped crossbows from getting into the city.
Yeah. And also, technically, it's our second day.
Oh.
Man.
You know.
About this time, Klaus and Gabriel, you make it to the table with the ales.
Captain!
The whole squad's here then, eh?
Yes, forgive us, Captain. We thought that since we were having the rest of the day off, we would just sink some ale. Would you care for one?
She picks up the bottle. Whiskey's a bit more my speed, but thanks for the offer. And as she says that, she tops her glass up. It's not a shot glass either. It's like a tumbler-sized glass, and she
Double old-fashioned.
fills it almost to
Oh,
the
yeah.
brim.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
And then, sort of, before putting the bottle down, sort of offers it to the four of you.
I take it.
Anyone want to strengthen
I'll
up that ale?
Ale's strong enough for me as it is, Captain.
I'll take
Captain,
it.
that
I'll take it.
that seems to be quite a large drink you've got there. Is everything all right?
Oh, this, and she
Are you okay?
takes a solid swig from the cup. Oh, as okay as it ever is around here, I suppose. Sorry, I don't mean to bring you down. I wasn't expecting company this time of day. Tell me, how was your first day? Rosie said you took a beating somewhere. You were on gate duty, is that right?
We were. We stopped quite a few carts, stopped some sway getting into the city, and
Oh.
also some crossbows.
Crossbows.
Not any sort of distribution levels of sway, but sway nonetheless.
Up, Rosie.
I shoot you a scowl.
Yes, some merchants posing to sell wine in the city, but they were hauling contraband, and quite a large sum of crossbows at that.
They must be the lot that the corporal was processing as I left. Facilin, I think, wouldn't surprise me anyway.
Red cloaks.
Sounds like the type. The threat's getting more and more real, and unfortunately, I don't think we're equipped to keep up. But it's good work today.
Can I I don't need to do an insight check. She's Sayed. She's clearly Sayed.
Very Sayed.
She's very Sayed. I'd like... Captain, ma'am, you seem incredibly down. Would you like to talk about it? Maybe get it off your chest? It might make you feel better.
Well,
Rosie pulls out the "Are you okay?" card.
Yeah. Check in with the
Are you okay?
it might make me feel better, but I would really prefer to keep you guys in good spirits than myself. So don't you worry about me. I've been doing this long enough. I can take care of myself.
Ma'am, I'm a gnome that's been living in this city for nearly 200 years. I don't think you understand how little spirit I have.
Makes a good point. Yeah, it's fair enough, I suppose.
Well, you'd know better than any of us, Rosie. That's a fact. I imagine the things that get me down are the same things that have been getting you down for much longer. I just...
General sense of racism?
Well, I just... This city could be so great, you know, and if anything's... You know, the stories that go by, maybe it was once upon a time, but the way things are at the moment, everything's so divided. The humans and the gnomes arguing with each other over these petty things when the real threat is coming from outside the city. You know, the Facilin army and the Facilin navy could be here any day, and we're just not equipped to deal with it. The more we fight amongst ourselves, the less ready we are for any external threats, and frankly, I just don't see this ending well for us. It's a tough time, hence the increased recruitment, but if I'm being honest, I was expecting more than 4 new recruits, but here we are.
Surely we were not the only recruits that joined up.
Yeah, I mean, what about the rest of the watch, right? You know, the rest of the watch house.
Well,
where's everyone else?
The other watch houses may have had more success. I've not had a chance to speak to the other captains properly, but they were all, at least compared to us, well staffed to begin with. Here in Illabar, we aren't first in line for new recruits, generally speaking. People know it's a rough part of town, and we've been operating on, well, less than a skeleton crew for a long time now. Things are getting out of control, and we just don't have the power, you know, the staff to stop it. It's a bit of a runaway train at this point.
Well, Illabar is definitely considered to be a rougher side of town, but that's where the most characters are made. So I'm sure this will, if anything, be good for new recruits. Better than the other watches. I'm sure will turn out to be the best crew you've had. Or at least I hope so.
I think we stopped a whole bunch of sway from getting into the city. Who knows what children that could have corrupted?
Well, it's probably more than would have been stopped if you weren't there. The guards we borrow from other watch houses tend to be pretty slack when they're on our turf, so you did good today. I'm impressed, I've got to say, and if you guys can set this kind of example, maybe we'll get more recruits in the near future. We just need to convince the Crown to pay for it. But I've taken up too much of your time with my depressing stories, so... And she picks up the cup and downs what was left of the whiskey. I'll leave you to enjoy your afternoon off. It seems like you've earned it. And I'm sure we'll see each other again soon. Keep up the good work. She scooches her way out and picks up the rest of the bottle and makes her way towards the exit.
As she's walking away, I just shout out after her. I was like, "You're doing just fine, ma'am. If things will turn around."
She just sort of waves a hand almost dismissively over her shoulder as she leaves. Clearly not in the best of moods.
Oh,
Thank you,
Bob
Captain.
the barkeep is sad sack. Jesus.
Oh. Go easy on her, Rosefina. Surely there's more to it than meets the eye, and everyone has their down days.
I wasn't being mean to her when I called after. I was trying to be reassuring, okay?
This seems to be a pretty dreary part of town. Forgive me, Rosie. I've never been to King's Landing before, well, joining the Watch. Could you maybe fill me in on exactly what this feud is between humans and gnomes?
I can. Hang on. Hold on a second.
Rapid
I
type
s-
into Kai.
Panic. Oh, Gabrielle. Where did you say you'd come from before you were here?
Oh, just a farm outside of the kingdom's walls. Nothing too special.
And you've lived there all your life, just out beyond the gates.
Yes, I grew up on the farm with my father, and well, my mother died when I was young, but that's beside the point.
So why did you leave your farm and come into the city and join the Watch of all things you could have done coming into the city?
I forgive me, class. You've sort of struck a chord.
I'm
I
sorry
couldn't-
if I have stepped out of line. I didn't mean to dive too deep. If you don't wish to talk about it, it's fine. We can talk
No,
about it later.
it's fine. I have nothing to hide. I found that I couldn't really continue living at home anymore. My father, he died, and with little more than just the farm and with no company, I thought best to sort of leave and search the world for something better. But it appears that I'm the only sort of outsider from among us all. I have no idea about the inner sort of relationships within the kingdom's walls.
Yeah, well, tensions have been high here for a while. I mean, yeah, everyone else here is from Rolands Landing, but that's where I guess you'd be from. It's such a busy city. It's a port city opportunity. I mean, my family's been here for a while, but my grandparents were just like you, living outside the city. I don't think their town exists anymore. There were nothing but hill dwarves in a settlement outside. I'm not sure if that place still exists anymore, but I do wish someday that I could visit it. But since then, I've just lived in Rolands Landing with my parents. And I've decided that I would join the Watch so that I could better the people and use what magic I have to help the people around me. And especially, well, joining Illabar, as they are the most downtrodden people. I only see the best in everyone I meet, and I do hope that I can help everyone.
That is very inspiring, actually, Klaus. Well, thank you for sharing your story. What about you, Rosie and Hadrig?
As Klaus was sort of telling his plight and why he's doing this, I knock back the rest of my ale. And y'all are settling in for a bit of a tale.
Nice rhyme.
So, no one's quite gotten my age right. I'm 198 years old. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't know what the city was like before Rolands Landing was officially founded by humans. But you know, my Grammy did, and you know, it's tough when, you know, you have this whole period of time where you and your people are living a comfortable, peaceful life along a river, and then all of a sudden you're being relegated to the slums and the boroughs, and your beautiful, beautiful river is just turned to sludge. It's really difficult to walk through Illaba and the burrows at the moment and think back to the stories my Grammy used to tell me from when she was around my age and hearing about how beautiful the city, when it wasn't a city, used to be. And, you know, like, obviously the humans came and they civilized it. They turned it into a bustling city and a city-state to be rivaled amongst all of the other nations. But all we got was made to feel lower than the lowest. Like, we were here first, and yet we're suddenly the bottom of society. And it's really hard. It's a tough one to turn around and say everything between gnomes and humans is fine when you literally get dismissed as being a part of the Watch just because you're under 4 feet tall, and it's a lot to have to come to work every day, even though it's only day 2, and see how this city treats its smallest, because it's not fair and it's not equal.
You must forgive me, Rosafina. I don't think I quite understood what you were going through. I know that I can come across as an asshole sometimes, and, well, I kind of put that down to my discipline, but maybe you're right. Maybe I am giving you a hard time.
Well, I guess it's easy to not see how everything works when you're not from the city. But
yeah, I guess you're right.
I appreciate the apology.
Well, I mean it in earnest. And Hadric, what about you?
What?
Just singular tear.
Yeah, just
Oh,
give me
man.
a sec, guys. I don't. You'll have really deep reasons for joining the Watch. I don't think I can rival those. I want to help people. Coming from being raised by the church and being raised in their ways, and them sort of raising me to help people and to carry their burdens and stuff like that. You know, you hit a certain point and you realize where you are. You can only help a certain amount. And it was either spend my life there helping the same small section of people, or start branching out. And there's a lot more going on than what is on your doorstep, right? So with some encouragement from some at the church, that pushed me to start with the Watch, and then we'll go from there. You know, I'll start helping the city, and then when the city no longer needs my help, I move on to bigger and greener pastures. You know.
But Hadric, don't you ever miss home?
I mean, I still live at the church.
But whilst you're out and searching for great and greener pastures, I understand the sentiment, because I too am on something of a path of a pilgrimage.
Yeah.
But I dearly miss my home, and I wish things could be the way they were.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's gonna be a big change, but you know, I'll always have the option to return, I like to think.
Oh,
I see.
I hear what you're saying, Hadric. It's one to be with the church, but to really get out there and help people that need it, they're not always going to come to you for help, and you've got to go to them.
Yes. Look, there's a lot of crime, there's a lot of poverty, there's a lot of people that need help, and I feel like we can offer that help a lot better than what the majority of people in this town can. City, I should say. A lot more in the city can. It's a bit bigger than a town. At least from what I understand, I've never left the city before, so...
You drink, you're fine. Shh.
Are all towns got 1 million people?
This apple's gone to my head.
Yeah, Facilla across the ocean is only 10 guys. And we just captured 4 of them.
Yeah, we caught 4 of them here, so now they're down to 6. I don't know what everyone's stressing about.
Then again, yeah, 6 still outnumbers our 4, so...
And those 4 almost kicked your ass, so 6! Ooh.
Okay, I think I understand where you're coming from. I must have misinterpreted. Well, it's good to get to know you guys, I think.
Yeah.
Guess we haven't really spoken much since we started. Thrown into an investigation straight off the bat. Had a few laughs in the bar, but then rudely interrupted by Chad Rumble fucking piece of shit.
Rumble Rod.
Chad Rumble fucking piece of shit. Perfect.
I like that name.
Beautiful.
Accurate.
Chad Rumble Rod. And then, obviously, today, having quite a bit of a run-in down at the South Gate.
I think we managed to handle it with a hearty degree of grace.
You done good. You guys carry on catching up, having some drinks. The afternoon starts to slide on by.
Well, I should be getting home now. It's starting to get a bit late for your old boy Hadrig.
Are the nuns gonna worry where you've been?
They are actually. That's funny you should say that.
They are.
The smell of alcohol on your breath.
I mean, I'd also like to get this fucking gaping slash checked out because
Oh, yeah.
while drinking
like
all
green.
of this ale has been cool and all, I still have a big cut in my chest.
That's right. Alcohol's good for flesh wounds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It helps the blood flow.
Yeah, it thins the blood so that it doesn't ooze so much.
Yeah.
Cool. So you guys plan on heading out?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
Yep.
pack
It's
it
now
in.
late afternoon at this point, and even though your actual day at work was fairly short, it was very high exertion.
Very
so
long.
you're probably feeling ready for a nap, I imagine.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the 4 of you begin heading back to your respective homes for the evening. Rosie again has the shortest distance to go.
Just rolls out to the gutter.
Home,
Sweet
sweet
home.
gutter.
Klaus and Hadrig heading back
Street gravy.
over to the north side of the city, and Gabriel heading back to his lodgings here in the lower city. I'm going to ask, can Rosie, Klaus, and Hadrig, can you guys all please deafen yourselves
Okay,
over in the call for me, please?
gonna have to give me 2 seconds.
Or I can do it
So-
for you.
No,
So
I've
who?
got it.
Klaus. Everyone but Gabriel.
Everyone but Gabriel, and I'll let you guys know in chat when you can come back.
Alright, deafening.
Alright, just make sure they're all actually... Yep, alright. They're not cheating.
Listening in.
Chat, don't give away any spoilers here. Gabriel, you return back to your humble room that you have rented, and laying on the pillow on your bed is an envelope with no writing on it. But you pick it up, and on the back is the Facillan coat of arms.
Okay. I sort of do a quick check over each shoulder, make sure that the door is closed and windows closed, and I turn the candles down, if that's the word, if that's the phrase. I make sure everything's dim, and then I open the letter.
Breaking the seal, you pull out the letter, and just scrawled on an unmarked piece of paper is, "Congratulations on achieving the first step. of your mission. Your next instruction is to ensure that the room containing contraband seized at the gate is left unlocked tonight. Stay there until midnight. You'll be met by a friend who will collect some of the contraband. After this, lock up and carry on with your infiltration. Destroy this letter, and it's not signed.
Understood. I make sure that I read it 2-3 times just to really imprint in my brain the information, and then I hold the letter over the tip of the candle and let it sort of burn out and discard the evidence.
The letter quickly burns to ash along with the envelope.
And check into my pocket, and if I believe correctly, I'm still in possession of the key to the contraband locker, is that right?
You do still have the key to the contraband locker, yes.
Yes. I was like, whew, thank God Rosie gave that back to me. I gear up and get my boots back on, and sort of my heart is racing a little bit, and I get ready for an outing.
Are you making your way straight there?
Yeah, I'll leave all of my belongings behind, and I'll put my hood up over me and sort of pose maybe as a passerby, staying to the shadows, and I sort of walk hurriedly to the south gate. Yeah.
Sure. Go ahead and make me a stealth check.
Nat 20.
Haven't got that. Couldn't have done much better than that. You stick to the shadows and quickly make your way back to the south gate where you spent the day. The outer portcullis is now down and closed, and a quick scan tells you that there doesn't seem to be any guards posted tonight. Perhaps they closed the portcullis because they didn't have the staff to man it. The interior portcullis, however, is still open, and the room where the contraband was stored is closed with its heavy oak door.
I head on over, and with one last glance over my shoulder to make sure no one's there, I take the key out from my breast pocket and slowly insert into the lock and give it a quick turn.
Yep. The door unlocks, and you're able to open it and head inside.
Yeah, I'll light up a candle and quickly sort of rummage around and make sure I find the locker in which the contraband is, and make sure that that's unlocked as well.
Yep. The majority of it is a pile of crossbows, which couldn't all be locked up. Obviously, Hadrian ran out of room in the actual box, so there's just piles of crossbows on the floor. You sit in the room, sort of mentally marking the hours and trying to listen out for any bells marking the time. And sure enough, at midnight, there comes a rap at the door.
Hurriedly sort of step up and I pull my hood a little further over me, just in case perhaps it's not whom I'm expecting. And I open the door a small crack and peer out.
It takes you a second, because peering out into the darkness at first you don't see anybody. And a second later you hear, "Down here!" And looking down, you see a gnome in the dark with its hood pulled, covering their face. You can't make out any features. Well, it looks like you held up your end of the bargain.
I always do. How long's this going to take?
Oh, not long. He puts his fingers in his mouth and whistles. And a cart makes its way out of the shadows, being pulled along by a person. It's more of a rickshaw,
what a bloody
I
legend!
guess,
Here's some
than,
finger guns. Pew, 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 pew,
a
pew.
cart as such. A few figures jump off from the back of the cart and come scurrying towards you. All of them appear to be gnomes, or at least that sort of stature. The one who knocked on the door originally pushes the door all the way open. He says, "Just the crossbows and the bolts. Don't waste your time with anything else. and they quickly come in and start emptying the room of the crossbows. As you're standing there watching, the one who knocked on the door and spoke to you has a poke around at some of the other bits and pieces and looks in the crate where you placed the vial of sway earlier, and he goes, "Ooh, big score, huh?" And he tucks it into his pocket. Quickly, the room is emptied of all the weapons that you guys managed to secure today, and the gnome pats you on the knee and says, "Well, we'll see you around," and quickly hops onto the back of the cart along with the others, and it's quickly walked back into the shadows of the city.
Alright, I turn around and make sure all the other crates and lockers are locked tightly, and I make my way out of the storage room and lock that door behind me too. Quick glance around to see if anyone's there, and my plan now, if I'm not caught, is to make my way back to the watch house and store the key inside one of the drawers, and I'm going to try to play it off like Corporal Arnold actually did take the key with her and she just must have forgotten or something.
Sure. You make your way back to the watch house without any issues and find the door unlocked. You open up the drawer of the sort of main desk and tuck the key in. Give me a perception check. Oops, wrong one.
19.
19. As you place the key in and close the drawer, you can hear what sounds like some heavy breathing or perhaps snoring coming from upstairs. But remaining quiet, you close the drawer, quickly leave the watch house and head back to your accommodations.
Cool. Phew!
Hello?
Hey!
Hello?
Hey man.
I was very confused at one point because I looked up and Lachlan was talking, but he was still mutant and deafened. And I'm like, what the fuck?
And you
thought he was-
tuck yourself into bed, Gabriel, and have a nice snooze.
What just happened?
Bro.
Howdy.
You guys all have a very restful night's sleep. It's been a big day. You fall asleep very quickly.
Alright, well, I'm sure that won't come up anytime in the future.
Yeah, all we hear is Gabriel goes to sleep.
Yep.
Nice.
You
Yeah,
did.
man, it was just 20 minutes of me role-playing which dreams I had.
They were disgusting. You didn't want to hear that.
I knew it. You
Yeah,
were talking
that
about boobs.
Dude, that was wild. That was like the hardest 5 minutes ever.
Sorry, guys.
I got a tiny peek behind the curtain because obviously you could see what Chris was rolling in the chat.
I bet you that Chris actually isn't staying at a hotel and he is just like broken into a house and just pulled up into some random bed and he had to fight off a rat. That was who was the innkeeper of the rundown straw house.
He's
Turns
just
out Gabriel's full name is Goldilocks. Breaking into people's houses, sleeping in their beds.
he's actually just
Yeah,
been scrolling
breaking
this
into
whole
a
time.
house. Breaking into a house and then
I
he
gotta
could
proceed.
get some sleep.
Chris was just being a bro and taking away the disadvantage and surprise round that we've got to do.
Yeah, you're
Took one
welcome.
for the-
Okay.
Took one for the team.
Yeah, he went out and picked a fight just for
Yeah. Mugged
just for the
some
sake.
poor
But he sent me a
guy.
message. He was like, "Hey man, when the others go to sleep, I want to go punch up some poor passerby."
I'll find the nearest gnome in the gutter and Rosalina, hi, it's you.
Jesus.
I like how you guys keep saying my home is in a gutter.
I feel like that was never.
Like we've had like this long and heartfelt discussion about how gnomes are totally belittled and like downtrodden by the humans, and then you motherfuckers are like, you live in the
Yeah, pretty much.
All I can imagine is like Kai's explanation of Illabar is the scene from Disenchanted where the elves are drinking street gravy, and that's all I can imagine.
It's not far.
Gravy.
It's not far off, probably. So you guys all get the benefits of a long rest.
Yay. That's
Excellent.
that's a full health regen, isn't it?
I don't think so. You get... Oh, yes, all hit points. Sorry.
yeah.
Trying to steal my
Excellent.
hit
And
points.
Love missing out.
those of you who have spells that need to be regenerated and prepared, do so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Resources are replenished.
Is there anything you guys want to do early morning before reporting for duty?
Pray to my god, Ilmatar.
I want to go on a secret stealth mission.
Hey, we can do it. Say the
actually-
word and I'll kick him out.
I'm doing one
Okay.
tonight, actually. You can tag along if you
Actually,
like.
I have a 20-minute side quest I was going to do, but I don't want anyone else to know what it is, so...
Yeah. Except for the fact is, Reese, did you see how good Chris rolled? I don't think you
I
were going on a
know.
stealth
Yeah.
mission.
That made me
Yeah,
so
man.
mad.
I'm like,
I was
roll
like-
that good
I was
when
like-
we're in combat. Like-
He's got this. It's fine. Chris doesn't
Yeah.
need us.
Nailed it. When Chris isn't weighed down with the other 3 players, he's like, just pro.
I wake up
Flies.
to the smell of bacon and eggs, sitting at the table in my house, and I sit down and I consume them before going to the watch.
Yeah. You don't want any street gravy on those.
Excited for your third
No.
day, dear?
Oh, good.
Asks your mum.
Oh, funny.
So far, so good. It's good to be helping people, for sure.
Good. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I know you were worried.
His father already left for the day.
Oh, he didn't come home last night. I think he slept at the watch house again.
It's Mrs.
Is not my missus at all.
Oh, I meant to say mistress. Your father has a mistress.
I got what you meant.
Faithful. Thank you. Very tired.
What did you think she said? Your father is your missus? What?
Yeah, alluding to the fact that my mother was my missus.
Wow.
What?
Incorrect.
You dwarves are weird.
Let's just
anyway.
move past that bit.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So after...
I-
Sorry, carry on, Klaus.
I best be on my way. But thank you for breakfast.
See you tonight. You will make your way to the watch house after your breakfasts, or lack of breakfasts.
No.
I mean, I just have a bowl of gruel, so that's
Nice.
It's holy gruel, though.
like... Here's your church soup.
Yeah.
Ah, sick. Thank
You get a piece of bread and some wine.
It's bread and water, and it's not even like cold water. It's just warm. Like,
Dip your
Room
bread.
temperature water.
yeah. And then have your soggy bread and be happy. Okay.
Yeah. Enjoy.
Alright,
it.
this has been fun, guys. I'm gonna see you later. We're going to talk about soggy
Oh.
bread.
I'm gonna head out. You guys all report again at roughly the same time at the Illabar Watch House. I thought that Rosie was just ducking out of frame for a second, but Rosie's gone.
Oh no.
I thought she was. I thought it was a joke that she was heading off, but she's gone. I can't see her. She has left.
She in character, out of character.
I know she can
Yeah.
hear us, but she out of here.
I'm a head out.
Sorry, Beck.
Billy, come on. Come on. You need dinner.
Eat your food.
Yelling at the
I
dog.
want to eat meat.
Stupid llama.
Eat just soggy bread.
Everyone, give me a perception check as you make your walk to work this morning.
I am sorry. It's
Oh, it's okay.
Oh fucking.
peek into my very long week. My dad tested positive for COVID yesterday.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah. So far, he's fine, but it means that Millie, who normally has a friend to hang out with, has not had that. Anyway, so he just pulled her into his room, and she hasn't actually eaten dinner yet. 15 for my roll.
So we got a 15 from Rosie,
A natural one.
natural 1 from Klaus. He's
Klaus.
got
Look at that.
bacon and egg brain.
Bruh. I got a 12 for Hadric.
12 for Hadric.
And 4
and
for
4
Gabriel.
for Gabriel. Gabriel's rubbing the sleep out of his eyes. Hadrig and Rosie, you kind of get a feeling like there's a bit more activity on the streets near the watch house today. It just seems this time of morning, it's not usually quite this busy, but there seems to be some sort of commotion.
Oh.
Something's happening, gentlemen.
It seems busy.
Recruit?
Than normal.
Oh, interesting, considering that it was a ghost town yesterday.
Let's
How
tell you
the
what.
turns have tabled.
What's so special about today? It's not a Monday.
Wait, is it
Wednesday.
a Monday?
It's Wednesday.
It's
It
Wednesday.
is Wednesday, my dudes.
Is it Wednesday, my dudes, in game?
Oh!
I played it on the radio the other day, and on Wednesday, I was like, good meme.
You guys,
On the radio? Shit, now it's an old meme.
yeah, it's officially dead.
Yeah.
Making our way closer, can we make out what is happening?
Well, you guys are at the watch house now, so you'd have to move away from the watch house if you wanted to go and have a look.
I would very much like to go and have a look. Why is it so busy?
Why it's busy? What's happening?
What's happening now?
You start moving sort of westward of the watch house, and you can hear some shouting and carrying on the street. You hear 2 passers-by as they run past, like, those little bastards have gone too far this time, as they
Uh-oh.
start moving down
Oh.
towards the ruckus. As you start heading down the street, you hear a shout from behind you. Wait, if you're heading down that way, get changed into your uniforms first, as Sergeant Chaplin has come out the front of the watch house. Sounds like a full-blown riot any minute now. I need you down there, but I need you there in an official capacity, not as looky-loos.
Jesus. Alright.
Yes, Sarge. Alright, come on, guys, we better get changed.
Yep.
Yep.
Can
Rush
I,
the watchtower.
Can I try and get an idea of what's going on before heading back?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
That's so cheeky. That's an 18, that is.
18's a pretty good roll. You
That's
think
a
you
very
can
good
make out over the sort of general volume of the crowd some kind of chanting going on, and to your ears particularly, you think the chanting might be in Gnomish.
Considering I speak Gnomish.
It's
Does that get me anything?
you can't
They're
make
saying
out
it
much
might
in the
be,
way of
It might be.
in the way of actual words from this distance, but based on the cadence and the the sound of the words, sounds like there's some sort of gnomish chant going on that you can't quite make out, and there's a lot of shouting in common of various slurs and general suggestions of an anatomical nature.
It's gonna be a great day at work.
You.
Alright, I just sort of sigh defeatedly and head back towards the watch house.
You guys head in. Chaplin's already in his uniform, although come to think of it, you've never seen him out of it. Quick, get changed. Grab your gear. We're going to have to go and stop this madness.
Sir, what's going on?
Stirring up trouble. Some group of gnomes have blocked off part of the street, and as you can guess, it's not pleased a lot of people.
But why?
Well, we're going to have to go and find out.
Alright, I'd
Let's get out.
rudge off to go and get changed. Knowing nothing, I blame Gabriel.
That's
Naming nothing.
No.
God damn it.
You know nothing.
I'm just
Damn.
upset that I missed it.
Alright, rush out of the watchtower.
The 4 of you run into the locker rooms and hurriedly change into your uniforms. Are you leaving behind your lethal weapons again, or is anyone planning on taking something with them?
Sneaky boot dagger. Sneaky boot jacket.
Nope. While we're on the job, it's Billy's only.
Yeah, Billy Club.
Yeah.
Hadrig's not taking his halberd with him.
Well, no, because Hadrig's on the job. Haven't been asked to take it, so...
Stashing your deadly weapons and putting on the uniform of the city, the four of you rush back out to join Sergeant Chaplin as he heads towards the disturbance. And that's going to do it for us today.
Cliffhanger. I was like, this is going to be a long encounter. Here we go.
Yeah, we're not getting into that just yet. Not at this time.
I did look at the timer, and it's like we got 7 minutes left.
Yeah, it's going to be a speed round.
Yeah.
I do love a good
it is.
cliffhanger, though. Do love a good cliffhanger. Means that next time you get into your session, you're like straight into it.
I appreciate the idea that it's a cliffhanger into a race war. So,
Wow, all right.
I'm sorry, what would you call it?
A race kerfuffle.
Yeah, kerfuffle. A road
Race
closure.
misunderstanding.
What did we miss in chat? We missed Windy J D&D. Thank you very much for the follow. Hope you enjoyed the back end of our session there. Just finished a session myself. Couldn't roll higher than 8. My players rolled through that little encounter. Oof. That's the worst as a D&D, as a DM, when all of your rolls are just terrible and the enemies just become incompetent because they can't roll a hit.
Yeah.
No, it's good. It's good for the story. Keeps it flowing. The players just breeze on through without having their faces caved in. So it's good.
Unlike you guys. Upside Down Fairy, thank you for dropping in. A bit late, that's okay. We were a bit late to start today, so it all works out.
It was my fault. I'm sorry.
I wasn't calling out Beck.
No, I know. I was calling out myself.
No, I'll call her out. Fuck you, Beck.
Bat Lord Basil, drop back in. Ale mixed with whiskey. You guys in a Tasmanian club? Hey,
Yes.
nothing like a B-52. I think is what they're called.
Just a WD-40. That's what it is.
Yes, yeah, clears you out, right?
Real men drink WD-40. I would unironically wear WD-40 as cologne. Stuff smells good.
Oh, fuck.
Are you?
Okay, cool.
All right,
Good
cool
to
pizza
know.
is one thing, but WD deodorant 40 is not cool.
If WD-40
can't.
started a deodorant
W-deodorant.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what mechanics use.
subset, I would wear that shit.
Right, that's like when VB came out with its own cologne.
Yeah.
That was
Oh god, really?
VB scented. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, did you
actually
not
bought
buy
some as a gift.
VBO.
Yeah. I haven't bought any yet. Yet.
Yeah. Yet.
Yet.
It's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
Who's got Reese for Secret Santa this year?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I bought a
WD-40
second
is-
one just for that exact occasion.
I have a peek behind the curtain question for Kai that is totally unrelated to wearing VB or WD-40.
Hit me.
Damn, not relevant.
Strike it from the record.
All right, never mind.
No, go on.
Because that's the first time that like I've ever been asked to like leave the room for something like that. Do you do that in like real campaigns, like sitting around a table, and like how do you do it?
Yeah, I would,
Yep.
depending on the nature of it, if in this case Chris needed to roll, I would probably ask everyone else to leave the room. If it was just a role play discussion, then I would just take Chris out of the room. It's something I've definitely done in the past with, some regularity, depending on what it is. I mean, I know that especially everyone here is good at not metagaming, and except for when you ask each other explicitly what your health total is. So people wouldn't necessarily take any information that their character didn't know and run with it. But for the sake of the fun of it, maybe you guys will learn what Chris did.
I mean, the thing I really appreciate about this is that there's an air of mystery. We don't have to pretend to not know what's happened, because we legitimately don't know what's happened. And
Exactly, and
That's it. That's the best way to metagame, is to just ignore it completely and forget.
I mean,
and we'll forget about it, and unless it comes up or unless Chris explains to us what happened, then
next
we
session,
don't know what
Chris is
happened.
just like, hey, remember that time where you guys left and then I went on a secret adventure? This is what happened. Like,
Yeah.
I went on a shopping spree.
Hey, maybe Gabriel will tell the rest of the party what went down. Maybe it'll come up some other way.
Yeah, I've also had another way that it's been approached is that in your breaks. So when like people get up and they get their drinks and they get some food and they're all hanging out in the kitchen because they're having their lunch or whatever in the middle of a D&D day, and then normally everyone will go back to the table, but then the DM will be discussing with like a particular individual about certain details of the game. So it's kind of like really incognito because you don't know that they're having that conversation with the player, because everyone else is just having general conversation. So even that is like hidden amongst everything anyway.
Yeah. We've done it with passing
prior
notes back and forth, or private messages, things like that. I like it because it does. I mean, it's fun for me as a DM because I get to know everything, and so it's fun for me to have secret information from you guys. And I think it's fun when that kind of information comes up organically. And if and when you guys find out what happens, your reactions will be genuine and things like that. So we're doing it.
Yeah. I mean, like I mentioned it in chat. I was like, my last experience with 5th Ed, the DM couldn't get us to stop metagaming, or rather, everyone else to stop metagaming. I was better than that. I don't know. And so he literally just made it so we all had a mental mind link, so that you couldn't hide anything, and you couldn't not hear what another person was thinking. So we were literally all in each other's heads all of the time to explain why we all knew something that someone did fucking halfway across the country, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, and sometimes metagaming can be good, so then you don't have to do the all. Yeah, so what happened? And it's like, oh, I tell them exactly what just happened, so everyone kind of knows. But
I think it comes down to experience, right? When you play as long as what we've been playing, you sort of know what information is what you can sort of metagame quickly and not influence much of gameplay. So like with a lot of that information that we may just been out of earshot for, we don't have to go through the whole so what they say, blah 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 blah. Whereas if we know the things that are detrimental that we shouldn't know, right? We know the information that we shouldn't know, and then we act in a way that we act, right?
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
And yeah, it definitely comes to that experience, and people who min-max will always metagame because they want to know everything about everything. And people who are happy to play the game and enjoy it for the journey and the story and will make characters with flaws don't mind, and they will be happily miss out on information because it adds to the
themselves
experience.
in the Discord chat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's definitely more fun to, do things the right way. Everyone has their own. Some people, prefer to play the math side of things of D&D. I prefer to play the role play and improv side of things. So,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna. Oh, you go, Reese.
I was gonna say I don't mind metagaming up to a point. Like in combat, I'm totally fine with metagaming, being like, hey, let's coordinate attacks, this, that, and the other thing, because I just think that makes combat way more interesting. Rather than being like, oh, well, I'm going to set up for this thing, and I hope that they understand what I'm trying to set up for. Yeah. Because I also feel like metagaming gets really... if you're not metagaming in combat, it gets really bogged down, and you sort of just end up just playing by yourself while everyone else is playing by themselves.
Yeah.
And the assumption is that the characters would be yelling and shouting and having conversation while they're fighting.
Yeah.
Which
I like doing
doesn't
that stuff
need to be
in character
played out.
sometimes as well, but it can get a bit laborious at times.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a balance, I think. Yeah.
As for health, the whole exact numbers, Yeah, it's like it's a weird one, right? It's like
Yeah.
on one end, definitely metagaming to know exactly what health people are on and you want to be healed up and what is the best option to be healed up, or it's just a little or a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer phrasing it as, I'm really hurt or I'm not really hurt
Yeah.
than I'm feeling 7 out of 14 today.
Sure. Yeah,
But,
it's
At the table, you can look at someone's character sheet and work that information out as well, so...
yeah. We had this in the first game that I played, where we had a NPC explaining game mechanics to us in Pathfinder. Being like, well, if you want to do this, you have to make this check and you have to roll this much. And we were like, is the NPC telling us this, or is the DM telling us this?
Amazing.
And he's like, oh, the NPC, and it's like, it's sort of a bit jarring.
This NPC's on something. He's tripping out.
And it translates to like when you're playing a video game, right? And you have a NPC in a video game being like,
Press
oh,
X.
well, press X to jump, and then press X to double jump, and you're just like, okay, like,
Yeah, I've
let's
never.
chat it.
And in the speech bubble, it's got the X symbol of the button. It's like, how do you pronounce that? How is this guy pronouncing?
Yeah.
It's that like in-game and out of in character and out of character argument of how people get across of being like, nope, we're in character, nope, we're out of character. Got my hand on my head, I've got the talking stick,
Yep.
all that sort of jazz. But I've never it's never come up to me in a party where people have been annoyed by having the numbers set aloud for like what health is, because I mean we play a lot of Pathfinder, so it is super number crunchy, and it's just like, I need health, this is what health I'm on, just give me the heals. But yeah, it's the first time I don't know, it was alright. It just kind of felt a little bit out of place for the type, like how we were playing. We were playing like more role playing, but I was like, that's how I normally play. I normally just say my numbers.
Yeah.
That's how I normally play the game. And it's never really come up in discussion before until
Yeah,
today.
I feel like so far we're leaning more into the roleplay aspect than the math aspect. I think it's more entertaining to watch.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So there will still be combat. Don't you worry. And you guys are going to get
This is a
disadvantage and
passive.
surprise next time.
This is
But,
a passive campaign.
there's some talkies in between. Alright, guys. I think that's probably going to do us for tonight. It's a bit later than we usually finish up. I'm a sleepy
Just a
boy.
little bit.
You mean
Yeah,
you just
let's
had a
start
space
tomorrow.
coffee, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I'm going to lay in bed and stare at the ceiling
And think about the next section
for
you've already
4
planned.
hours until...
Just go take your dog for a walk, Kai. Just like,
yeah,
A 4-hour walk.
Yeah.
in the dark.
so.
Just be one of those people that takes their dog for a walk 3 times a day.
I haven't got the energy
Yeah.
for that. The dog does, I don't. Thanks again to everyone for hanging out in chat. Much appreciated. Hope you guys enjoyed it. You should definitely tune in tomorrow at, I believe, 12 midday Australian Western Standard Time.
Yep, correct.
Where Lachlan, Reese, myself, and Sean are going to be playing some board games. I think we've landed
Holy
on
heck.
playing Waterdeep. More D&D
Yep.
goodness. A D&D
More
themed, D&D themed board
Honestly,
game.
I honestly thought you were explaining to the viewers and everyone in chat that at 12 o'clock the episode 2 was coming out, and I was like, that's a very narrowed down time frame for when the second episode is coming out. And then you're like, we're playing board games. I'm like, that's right.
I'm not hammering.
I am playing board games tomorrow.
I'm going to try very hard tomorrow morning before we stream board games to get session 2 ready for YouTube. But no promises. It might be after. We'll see. But yes, midday Australian Western Standard Time, we are going to be playing. Lords of Waterdeep. Very good game. Reese hasn't played it,
No, not at all.
so that's exciting, and it's D&D themed, so it's on theme. So I'm excited for that. Do you guys want to run through any of the rest of the week's schedule while I find us someone to raid?
I was going to suggest raiding Oceanic Gaming Radio. That's our friends Pavlova Face, Captain Perth, and Grizzly Gaming 86. They're currently working towards affiliate, so...
Oh, nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
But Beck, you have the next stream after Saturday. So
I
what are you
do.
doing?
Providing the world doesn't end, I will be back playing more Subnautica Below Zero. I've unlocked my desire to play this game all of the time. Come and check out me playing and being an absolute scatterbrained idiot while doing it. But yeah, that should be fun.
Nice.
And then Priest?
On Thursday, I'll be back. We are going to be playing some more Lord of the Rings. I think I've got about 2 streams left of that. Provided I don't get super salty again.
Yeah, that Samwise mission was really.
Bro, I got super salty. So we started off the stream watching old school movie trailers, and then we played the game, and then I got super salty, and then a bunch of people came in towards the end and were like, "Hey, we missed the movie trailers." So then we watched more movie trailers, and then I was not salty at all. So
actually, I'm taking credit for the movie trailers thing because I was like, watch something funny before going to bed because you shouldn't go to bed angry.
I was like, I wasn't even gonna raid anyone. I was gonna be like, "Fuck this, I'm done."
Just smash that end stream button.
Yeah. But I got something special for the start of stream.
Ooh.
All I'm gonna say is we're going house hunting. So that's Thursday next week.
Help Reese buy a house.
Ooh.
Nice.
That's it.
My goodness.
Cool.
If that excites you, be there.
Or B Square.
Yeah.
Nice. Big bachelor pad. Here we go.
Let's go, baby.
Nerds is moving in.
Yep.
Alright, guys. Thank you, as always, for my wonderful party. Thank you for being here and playing the game. And
No
everybody
worries.
in chat, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for those of you who followed and biddied. It's much appreciated. We love you guys very, very much. And we'll be back next week. Assuming all goes smoothly through the week, we should be back to our normal time of 6 p.m. If there's any change, we will let you know in advance again.
So much so I've even changed my roster at work so I finish half an hour earlier so we can definitely start on time.
That's commitment.
Yeah.
Right there.
Nice.
That is not starting until
Perfect.
a few weeks from now. So don't worry about it.
Well, that's definitely commitment to the time. Well done. All right, thank you everybody. Have a lovely evening. We're gonna head over to Oceanic Gaming Radio and help them get their way up to affiliate. And
Make sure you. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt. To help them do that, refresh the stream when you get there so that it actually counts towards their viewers. Don't just sit on the raid. Refresh, because then your view actually counts.
Back with the tech tips. You have your instructions. Go in, refresh, and then hit them with the finger guns. And we will see you guys back here next week. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Hey.
Hey.